again, so. God damn it. So I gotta take that back off. And I need to clean, you guys. I need to be cleaning. This is not what I was supposed to be doing. I'm literally still wearing like pajamas. All right, I gotta go get some more shit to take the nail polish back off. I don't like the way it looks. I'm gonna try white as the base. Cleaning cannot wait. I have to pre-clean before my house gets clean. So I can't put it off. But I'll do my nails first, I guess. Reported the live for what? Like literally I'm talking about nail polish. Pre-cleaning is the worst. Like who came up with this crazy idea? Do you ever see your husband? Yeah. But he works during the day, so. Literally yesterday, I was busy like all fucking day. So here's the problem with this. Now I'm gonna have like black edges. Oh my God, that's not how it works, Galaxy Reflections. That's just some bullshit. Thank you for the happy late Mother's Day. I know, but so the thing is like these colors are like opaque, so it's really, really light and you can barely see it. So I'm gonna do a white base and see how that works. But yeah, now I'm gonna have like fucking black. They're really metallic-y this year. And last year they were like really, really, really light. Where the pink, like you could barely tell the difference between the pink and the black. So I was hoping they would do better this year. And I thought they would be like, it looks a little darker on camera than, it's not that, it is more of a the trans pink color. It's Sally Hansen. But no, even with a few coats, like it just wasn't showing up enough. Thank you. Oh my God. But look at the like fucking outline now, and I have it all over myself. I know, I did some coats, but I still don't like the color of it. I still don't feel like it shows up enough. I want to be able to see the difference between the colors. And the ones last year have a lot of glitter in them, so I can't really use them as like a base. Oh man, I was up to 350 views and now it's down to 2. I don't know who else is live right now. Yeah, I'm gonna do a white base in a second. I gotta get all this black off. They have new ones each year. They have like regular rainbow pride colors, but I usually, starting last year, I bought the trans pride. But this year it was weird. I bought the pride pack last year because see how it says pride on them. But the pride pack this year was these two in yellow. And they call it like Be Proud or something, but it's like, what the hell? Yellow does not go. So anyway. Hi, Vanessa. I see you in the, oh my God. We'll see if I get any conversations. Yeah, kind of like the pansexual pride, but it was weird because they last year they did like a Trans Pride pack with those colors. So I don't know if they were trying to do maybe, because literally last year in the pack was these three. Wait, where's the white? Oh, I found it. Like literally. But the problem is the pink was really light, like too light. So yeah, the pink was really, really light. So anyway, I don't know where everybody went. Where is everybody? Somebody else must be live. They all went over there. Get a refund. It was last year's colors. I mean, I used them, but no, I don't really get anything done like professionally, like hair or nails or anything. How long you stay in live? I don't know. I have to go clean. We'll see. I mean, I could bring it with me depending on how it goes. I don't know. I have to clean my kitchen. Like the lid is pink, but the color itself wasn't. And I seriously have shit all over myself. Like, all right, let me go wash my hands. And I'll try this again. Yeah, Mother's Day I did fucking nothing and it was fantastic. Alex. That's funny. Oh, God. All right, if it's not gonna cover this very well, then I'm just gonna take it off and give it a few days. I don't know. Anyway, that was funny though. You weren't notified. Well, if you didn't want it, I mean, don't use it, go away. You don't have to be here. Oh, that's funny. All right, see, there's the black outline still there. I guess I'll try white. Well, you're gonna have to hate watch with a sub, I guess. Mel, I'm here for your independent streams. Glad you're doing things yourself. That's really funny. I literally started doing this myself. I know a lot of people don't think I hosted, but I have. I have hosted since December 2022. I am not new to hosting. What the fuck? Stuff is thick. Oh my god, look at that. How shitty of a job I did. I get agency fucking messages constantly, but I don't know anything about it, so I don't do it. I have like shitty nail polish remover. It's fine, it'll come off when I shower a few times. Actually, from doing dishes, it might come off then. I don't know. Anyway, let's see if we can get my subscriptions back up to 150. I was in the 500s for a while, but that was when I had more time through the winter to be hosting more. Thank you, leftover lasagna. I don't know, Jaden. It's funny. People don't know that I've like been here, and they all are like experts on me. The newer people seem to be like the experts, which is really weird. Yeah, I'm not very creative when it comes to naming myself. Seriously, Jaden. For real. All right, I'm just gonna do one hand right now and see how this one comes out before I mess up with my other one. All right, 379 appears to you. Still no opposition requests. I don't know if anybody wants to chat about the topic while I'm here, which I'm not gonna be here very long. I have shit to do. I'm like, oh, I'll do my makeup. So maybe it'll like motivate me to clean. I don't know why I thought that was the thing, but getting something accomplished first, I guess. But now I'm just fucking around with my nails. Am I gonna get a Discord? No, hell no. I am not gonna deal with drama and having to like, no thanks. A lot of people in my family don't accept my daughter. I don't talk to them. But I am, I guess, fortunate enough to be a military family where I wasn't really around family much anyway. Living away from family has been like the norm of my adulthood. Yeah, I don't know, Jaden, it doesn't make any sense. So that's not a huge deal for me. But I know a lot of people live around family and it's very different for them, so. It's still sticky, damn it. Like to leave it, don't put anything on top. Almost 400 of you watching me sit here like this, like my shirt. I don't know if any of you have seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's my husband's t-shirt. I wear it to bed sometimes. Are you okay? Tried and failed? Literally said I'm only going to be here for like a little bit. I am never here. I've been here for, I think I had a 10-hour live once. Incredibly rare. I haven't been on here in 3 days. But you know, it's fine. I'm always here. You know, oh, well, it looks good over the white. Much better color. Even though I made a mess, but much better color over white. I'll have to put glitter over my middle finger. Shit, is the flag pink? Ugh, the flag's not pink on the outside, it's blue. Damn it! I did it right the first time. God damn it! All right. Now I have to take it back off. Fucking... Why are you guys doing my nails today? It's so difficult. All right, I'll just leave that nail there for now and start from the other side. So blue. Yeah, it works way better over white. Blue, pink. My lives have always been over moderated. It's just a fact. Because I don't allow people to misgender my kid. This is much more of a like sensitive live area. I don't know how I word that. All right, so the color looks good, except for this fucking finger's the wrong color. Damn. Amy, are you a friendly? I think you might be. Not that I mind friendlies, it's just I'm not gonna be here too long. This is just a test run for Pride Month. If any of you were here for Pride Month last year, I did a lot of stuff like when I did, when I came on live. I had like Pride earrings and that fucking nail that fucked up again. And I have like stickers, and I bought some stickers, some face stickers again for this year. The first week of June, or like a few days into June, I'll be going to do some Pride stuff in person this year. So you guys won't see me on here. Oh my God, like what is happening with this? I've never seen anything so weird. Okay. Oh, that's right, from the other day. See, look, I haven't been here since Friday. So, whoops.
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
I am 18.
What year were you born?
2005.
All right, go ahead.
Right, just let kids be kids.
Great, some kids are trans.
Yeah, but you know, if they haven't come to you without seeing all this, like, shit on TikTok and stuff, like, be who you want to be. Like, I'm not saying that, like, you can be, if you want to be a girl, but you were born a boy, be a girl, I don't care.
All right, that's not what being trans is, though.
Yeah, I know what being trans is, like, you want to be a different gender.
No, it's not a want. It's not about a wanting.
It's like you need. Same thing.
You are.
Yeah, that's what I meant, sorry.
Well, it's very different, though, because you're implying that children can choose a gender identity and they cannot.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. But some kids, like, they'll just, like, if they see it online and they don't, like, they're not they're not another gender that they was born, they'll just make it up.
What?
It has actually happened before when I was in school. Weird people.
Okay, and was that person actually trans or?
No.
Right, so we're talking about just trans kids, right?
Yeah, but that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying...
You're trying to say that somehow if children learn about being trans, then they'll just be trans, or they'll be influenced to be trans, and that's not a thing.
I am 18. Shut up, Donald Trump.
So, if somebody... Sorry, it was you saying Donald Trump. That was funny. I don't know what I was saying now. Hey, Bish.
Hey there. Yeah, you do look very, very young in those videos.
I know it is like one of my old photos. I just felt like it looked.
Your old photo from a video from this year? That's
yeah.
weird. So you use videos
To be fair, it is my little sister's account. I did steal it, but she doesn't need to know about that.
Okay, well, if you're using a minor's account, then you can't be up here. Okay, sorry.
You might want to.
Yeah, that was a straight up lie.
You might want to make your own account. Anyway, this fucking nail polish is driving me crazy. I need to take it back.
I never
off.
thought of putting on a base to brighten it up like that. That's so smart.
Well, because I was telling you, I think before you came in, right? Hold on a second. The new Pride colors this year, they look dark, but they're like super opaque. So when I just put it straight on my nail, like you could barely
Who's that from?
look anything. It's Sally Hansen.
I thought it was. That's good. Wow. Very nice.
So I tried it over black and then it didn't really show well. So then I'm doing it over white, but it's too thick and I didn't wait for it to dry. I need to take it back off. Anyway, hello, guest who doesn't show anything.
Yeah, I don't see you.
I don't have a name.
What?
I don't have a name.
Okay, no name. How old are you?
I am 18.
What year were you born?
What?
What year were you born, please?
2005.
That was a long time for that.
Unless they have a delay. Do you have a lag?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That wasn't suspect at all. Like you heard you breathing and pausing to say yes.
Oh my god, that was funny actually.
You was like, well, let me see. Yes. Jeez.
Oh, that was funny. Okay. Anyway. Oh gosh. I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be doing my nails. I'm supposed to be cleaning.
Hi,
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 19,
What year were you born?
2004.
Alright, what's up?
Well, I gotta admit, before I say anything, I'm all for it, like everything. But when you say kids, what age group do you mean?
Under the age of 18.
So, like, what about like 4 to 9-year-olds?
Yeah, that's fine.
But the thing is, like, how?
You're all for it, but you're not? Like, I'm confused.
No, I'm just very confused because how would a kid at such a young age who hasn't had their brain develop properly, they wouldn't know fully what they are. Like when I was a kid, I thought it was a dinosaur. Like
Emily, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Are you old enough to know who you are yet?
Yeah.
When did your brain develop?
What do you mean?
I don't. When did your brain develop? I'm just curious. It's your stance. I'm just curious.
Well, every person develops differently.
Okay, so is there a specific age that everyone knows who they are? Does something magically happen on a specific birthday at midnight?
No.
Okay. When did you know? Are you a girl, Emily?
Yeah.
When did you know you were a girl?
My whole life.
Yeah, trans kids know who they are as well. Same as you did. That's all.
Right, probably before the age of 9. You a girl?
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Well,
Sweet.
in sync. Okay, cool.
All right, hold on. Let me add someone else. Bish, do you have mod powers?
I do.
For guests, can you just add someone?
Sure, absolutely. Who do we got? Let's see. Let me look at the list here. We have. We'll go here first. Vladimir. It's going to go right in the order you appear on the screen.
It's a tough one to pick who.
It really is because you don't know how long they've been there. You can't really tell. So we're just going to go back down the line.
Hello,
How
hello.
old are you, please?
Hello, my name is Vladimir. I'm from Romania, Europe.
Great. How old are you, please?
I'm 36.
Thank you.
I just want to ask you, this topic is not very okay, in my humble opinion. Excuse me my English,
Okay.
but if you are a little child You cannot have any logical thinking about this.
We just covered this. Vladimir, may I ask, are you a man, boy, girl? I don't know. I don't want to assume.
Look at me. What do you think I am?
I see a tiny little circle dot on the screen. Just tell me how you identify. I'm not going to make assumptions.
Regarding my voice, what do you think I am?
I'm not going to make assumptions. Can you just tell me, please?
I'm a man.
Okay, thank you. So whenever you were younger, you were a boy. Is that correct?
Sorry?
When you were younger, you were a boy, correct?
Yes, I was a boy, but now I am strong, masculine man. I make sport. I am a professional arm wrestling.
I love
And
that.
I don't want to come here just to excuse my English because I'm not native.
Your English is fine. Don't worry about that. No problem.
Okay, because I'm not native and I do my best. But
Look, I
what
promise
I
you,
try,
you're better than most Trump supporters, so don't worry about it. You're good.
I don't. I'm from Europe.
Yeah, that's fine.
I am from Romania. Here in Romania, we are Christians, majority, and we believe in God.
Okay.
And I think, and in my humble opinion, I think men will be men and women will be women. But to let a little child to be what he wants, we do not want to influence the child.
No one's
Because-
influencing Vladimir. Hold on 1 second, please. I was trying to ask you something a while ago before we got on the steamroller here. Just a real quick question for you. When did you know that you were a boy? How old were you when you knew you were a boy?
Because I look on my genitals when I discover myself. I knew I was a boy.
And how old were you whenever you knew that you identified as a boy? How old were you?
From my beginning of life, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, I don't know.
And trans people also know that they are a boy or they are a girl. They know their gender the same as you did, same as I did.
And it's actually not
Of course, but
your genitals.
we cannot influence a little child. Yes,
Correct.
Cannot.
You cannot. You're absolutely correct. We agree with you. You cannot.
and sorry, I also here in Romania I make lives about this topic because I think it's a very delicate topic.
That's strange.
I am not a homophobe.
No.
Everyone can be whatever he wants.
Clearly.
But when you are a child, you must grow in a strong, normal family. And and it depends.
Hold on. My gosh, the steamrolling's crazy.
Okay,
Hold on a second.
okay, because I'm not native, and this is why.
That's fine. It's complete. Your language is not a problem whatsoever, Vladimir. Not even the smallest issue. You're completely fine with that. I just don't want to steamroll and have an actual conversation about it. That's okay. So what I'm saying is, where in the brain does gender identity develop, please?
I don't know this to answer this.
At what age does gender identity develop?
What does it mean in chat? W Vladimir.
The W means win, means they like you. It means you get some fans. So, at what age does gender identity develop?
My age now. I am.
No, not your age. It's okay. It's okay. I know I talk fast. It's seriously, it's me.
Yes, you talk very fast.
I do. People who live in America have trouble understanding me.
You are from America.
I am. So, okay.
Yeah.
So you said if I'm not mistaken, you said that you don't know where in the brain gender identity develops. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. At what age does gender identity develop?
At what age? Mm-hmm. And the gender identity develops.
Yes.
I think 3 years, 4 years, maybe.
Okay. And that's correct. It's the same for transgender people too. So my concern with you, you're welcome to host any lives you want to. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But you're saying you have no problem with people being who they are, but you don't have a complete understanding of how gender identity develops. You do know the age. You're correct on that one. And it's the same for transgender people that it is for cisgender people.
Yes, but I think if the child will be in a strong family with a strong father figure and a strong mother figure, I think you can influence the kid to be okay, because
Wait a second.
When you are a
just-
parent,
on,
hold
you
on,
just
hold
said-
on. When you
No,
are
no,
a
no, no.
parent,
I
you
didn't- I
have
didn't say that.
authority about your kid.
But you just said, wait, I'm going to call a contradiction. You just said moments ago that you can't influence someone to be something that they're not. And we agree with you. So why are you now saying that people can influence that? Which one is it? You have to pick a side.
Yes, parents. If you have a normal family, a father and a mother, we don't like here in Europe, Romania, to call parent one and parent two. I don't know this ideology because
There's no ideology.
because ideology. Sorry.
Let's say, don't be sorry. You're fine.
Okay, and I think you must when the child is little, you as a parent have big authority over your child, because not my child has authority over me as a parent.
You can't have authority over your child's gender, though.
Sorry?
You cannot influence or tell your child what their gender is. That's not how it works.
Yes, of course, because we are people, and when he turns 21 or 18 years old,
Absolutely
he can choose what he wants. But under my authority as a parent,
Yeah.
I choose for him.
No, you want to control your child, and your child
Of
is
course,
not your
of
property.
course.
Of
Yes.
course.
Your
Of
child is not
Yes.
your property, Vladimir.
Oh, yes, because I give him money, I go to school to him, I give him food, I give him everything. Yes, I have authority over my
You
child.
raise your child, but your child is not your property. You do not own. your
Yes,
child.
I raise it, and when he stays after
So you want
under
to be
my
a
roof,
controlling father. You want to be a controlling father that manipulates your child and tells them what to do with their life and does not let them live their own life.
no.
You're
You're
causing harm to
mistaken.
your child by doing that, actually.
No.
Okay.
I'm a normal parent who
You're a
after
hovering parent.
no. When I give you money, you do as I say.
Okay, well,
Because you live under my roof.
great.
After 18 years old, you can go and do whatever you want. No?
Okay. Nope. I don't see the point in controlling a child like that, because you are trying to make your child something that they are not. You are trying to do exactly what you're accusing other people of doing.
I don't understand, please.
You said that you don't want people trying to control children, but then you've just told us for the past couple of minutes how much you want to control your
Control in a good manner.
Controlling in a good manner or better. You're still controlling your child.
Of course. Because I say to my child, it's good to go to school. It's good to go to the gym, because I'm a professional arm wrestling and I promote sport. A lot of sport and fitness, because I'm a professional arm wrestler in Romania.
For real. Do you actually have children?
I have a little cousin.
That's not. Do you?
I don't have my own child, but we have a big family and we have little.
Great. So what if your kid doesn't want to go to the gym?
No problem. But I say to him what is good: to go to the gym, to go to school, to have a normal life, to eat healthy, not to eat junk food. Yes, because I can give him the right models in life. Because as a
So you do think it's wrong to be transgender then, because you're saying that this is something that's wrong. You're comparing someone's gender identity to
I ask you a simple question. Do you know? Okay. No.
I asked you.
Okay, sorry.
I asked you, please.
Okay, please.
You were just comparing someone's gender identity to eating bad food.
No. You misunderstood.
Okay, so do you believe that being transgender is bad?
Everybody can do what he wants after 18 years old.
Not the question I asked you. Do you believe that being transgender is bad?
I don't believe this. If everybody must be what. If I want to be a monkey or an extraterrestrial, I can be after 18 years old.
I asked you a very direct question that a monkey is not a gender identity. Do
No,
you
no, no.
believe, Vladimir, I'm asking you a very simple question. Do you believe that being transgender is bad? Yes or no?
After 18 years,
Yes
you
or
can
no?
be what you want.
Vladimir, I'm not asking about age. Do you believe that being transgender is bad? Yes
Maya,
or no?
after 18 years
I'm
old,
going
you
to ask you
can
the
be.
same question
Oh
again
my
since you
God.
refuse to answer it, okay? And we're
I
not going to move
don't.
forward
I've
until you
answered.
answer the question. We're not
Okay,
going to move forward
can
until
we
you answer the
pass this question and I tell you something very,
No.
very, very important
No.
for the world?
No, I want you to answer the question. Then we can move on for sure. But it's a yes or a no. It's not a pivot. It's not a conditional.
Okay, everybody must be what wants to be. No problem for me.
Okay, that's not an answer to my question. Yes or no? Do you believe that being transgender is bad?
I don't believe this is bad.
It is not bad. So if it's not bad, why does someone have to wait until they're 18?
Because I have authority over my child.
That's
And
not
I give
my
him
question. That's
support
not you.
in life. And when I give him support in life, he must do what I say because I give him money, I give him food, I give him school and a roof over his head.
Okay.
Your child is not your property.
Oh, it is. Until 18 years old, it is.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Well,
But I
I'm
want
over
to
this.
tell you something very...
I'm over this conversation. Are you done, Fish? You good?
I'm good.
I just have one question, please. Do you know where is...
Do you know the Muffin Man? And look, and it's the thing. First of all, Vladimir, I appreciate the conversation. There was never an issue with your accent whatsoever, so I don't want you to believe that there was an issue with that. None at all. And again, I do apologize. I do speak quickly. I know I talk fast. But you just wanted to control your child, and I don't know how to really address that. I mean, that's strange.
Yeah, and when you want to say that your child is your property, I mean, like, what else are we going to do with that? Also, you guys, earlier I told you that I needed to pre-clean. I didn't do a good job because they're here, and that's the noise in the background.
Oh.
If Bish wants to continue this, I will hang out. You good with...
Do you want
might
to
have
hang over, or do you want to go? It's your call.
No, I'm just going to have to, like, mute more often than usual, I guess is going to be the thing.
I'm
So-
good either way. It's your call.
All right, we'll hang out a little longer. Okay. People don't want us to leave. All right, we have a lot of requests too, so.
Oh, goodness. 24 requests. Oh, my gosh. What do we have? Can we grab someone here? Let me see.
Yeah, I'll let you be in control of this stuff. I got to do these dishes. I can't just stand here.
All right.
All right.
All right. I'm looking for who disagrees. Let's go down the list here. And we have, I'm just going to get the first person. I see Chrissy here. Chrissy, come on in and let me know your age when you get in here, please. If it works, we shall see. Hello, Chrissy. And we're waiting. Chrissy, can you hear us? We can't hear you there. It's not loading anything for you. I'll wait a few more minutes or seconds, not a full minute. Chrissy, I can't hear you. It doesn't seem like you're loading. If you want to try and jump back in the box, I'm going to bounce you down. If you want to try and leave the app and get back in, I will look up your name. And I'm going to go down the list and see who's next. All right. Next on the list, we have Robin. And here we go. Robin, when you get in here, please let me know your age, please. Are we going to have the same issue with not working? Is it not going to work? All right. If you've been in the box for a while, maybe jump out and get back into the box. I don't want to clear the entire thing, but it seems like while we were talking to Vladimir, many of you may have been here waiting, and now TikTok's going to be evil, and that's never a good time. So Rocky down the list is next. Rocky, say hello if it lets you. Or thank you and drive through. Wow. Oh my God. Meantime, Mel's going to do a cleaning the house dance for us. No, I also pre-clean as well, so I understand. All right, Seth, we're going to try you, see if it works. Oh my God, I think we got a person. Seth, are you a real person?
I am a real person.
Stop it. How old are you, Seth, please, for TikTok?
I'm I'm 29 years old.
All right, Seth. Let kids be trans. What do you have to say?
Well, I was just listening on Vladimir's conversation. But as far as let kids be trans, I don't think that it's a great idea to let them do anything that they want to do. So you could apply trans into it. I don't think you should let kids stick their finger in a socket on the wall. I don't think you should
Those
let them
are
run out in the
not
street.
comparable.
Hold on a second.
Not comparable.
Yeah, they're not comparable. So putting your finger in a
Do you-
socket is not the same as your gender identity. Can you tell me what harm can come from someone being transgender from letting a kid be who they are?
What proof do you have that is to let them be quote unquote who they are? Like
Scientific studies.
does a scientific study says a 4-year-old knows what it is at 4 years old, and it knows what its life is going to be ahead of it. There was no influence whatsoever on that 4-year-old's life that led him to say, I'm the opposite of what society and
Hold
what
on,
thousands of years say.
just a second here. A 4-year-old is not an it, like they're a person. Children are people.
Correct, I agree.
Okay.
I have a 2.5-year-old son. 100. It's not an it. I'm not a very elegant or eloquent speaker. So if I do say something that
Well, it's
is
just very,
wrong, call me out.
very
No.
humanizing term. So we're not talking about children like being what they want. It's being who they are. It's very different.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know that terminology is the correct terminology. What they are.
As someone
What they are.
As someone with a 2.5-year-old, you should educate yourself on what being transgender is and how your
Well, yeah,
child.
could you tell me what
Sure.
could you tell me what transgender is, just so that I understand and make sure we're both
Explain to you.
thinking the same thing?
Oh, sure. Cleaning it. Okay, so yeah. Now you said you have a young child, then, Seth. So for being trans, what do you? And I'm not picking on you at all. What is your understanding?
Sure.
What do you think it means? And let's start with that.
So my understanding, and I'm a healthcare professional, so this can help me, in my own field.
Totally.
But my understanding of transgender is being something other than what society would, assign you at birth, something different than, say, if you're a male, or the old learning. A male has a penis, a woman has a vagina. If you have one, say, let's just for instance say you have a penis, but you think of yourself as a woman or a they or a them or whatever that you decide that you are. That is what my understanding of is transgender.
Okay. Well, in short, do you know the term cisgender? Have you heard that? This is just for the conversation on the same page.
I've heard it, but I couldn't confidently tell you its description of mine. What I think cisgender is an other gender that's not one of the two that has been around for thousands of years, male or female.
Okay, no problem. No, so it's actually not it. So which is not a problem. So this is where we want to have the education about what the conversation is. So cisgender. If I can ask Seth, are you a man?
Yes.
Yep, same. Cool. And you were assigned male at birth. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep, same here. So you and I are both cisgender. What that means is that we were assigned male at birth, and our gender identity that we identify is in alignment with the sex we were assigned at birth, I should say. All right. When someone's transgender, it means the opposite. It means that the gender identity, the sex they were assigned at birth, is not in alignment with their gender identity. All right. So cisgender basically just means the opposite of trans. Cis means same side as. Trans.
So cisgender just means the same.
Exactly. For example,
whatever
the same side as. It has nothing to do with your sexuality whatsoever, because I'm going to guess from the conversation from what you're saying that you're straight. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, and I'm gay, but we're both still cisgender. It has nothing to do with straight or gay. It's just our gender identity, right? Does that make sense so far?
So, yeah. Okay. I'm just not
Oh, I think you got a call there, Seth. I'll hold on a second. Got a call or text probably. I hope it's a quick call because this is going to be a good conversation. I'm hopeful for it. If you're off the app, we can't.
All right, there we go.
There you are.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes, I appreciate.
Sorry.
that. Don't be sorry.
Sorry, my directions were telling me to turn, so I was just.
Gotcha. All right. So, so here's the thing, Seth. As far as we cover what cisgender and transgender is for a kid. What I mean specifically, your kid says 2.5, very young kid. Oh, you're at the age you get your hands full. Oh my God, that's a lot of hyperactive child at that point. Sorry, I have 11 nieces and nephews. No kids, but I have a ton of nieces and nephews. All right. So what I was saying with this is gender identity. When do you think it is formed? Do you know that or no? Oh shoot! I just catch that. Seth, are you driving right now? I just saw that now, chat. I didn't make the connection. Seth, are you still there? Seth? Okay, I'm waiting 1 second here. You're not wrong, Crypto. I talk too much. I need to land the plane. I wasn't even near the airport. I wasn't even near there. Seth, we're losing you. There's been some concern that you might be driving. You said about stop looking for the directions. Do me a favor. I would love to continue the conversation if you're not driving.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, great. I can hear you again. Are you driving right now, Seth?
Yeah, I'm driving.
Okay. And I appreciate you for being honest, but for TikTok, for the guidelines, we can get in trouble for that and they can pop the live down. So can I ask you to come back and join for another conversation when you're not? Because we want you to be safe. We need to follow guidelines, okay?
Sure, that's fine.
I appreciate you very much. I really, really do. I hope you can come back. Thank you. And thank you, Seth, for being honest. That was good. That was a good thing. So, see what we have here down the line. Manage guests. We have. Okay, going down. I'm going to try and find someone I see we have some who've been recent guests. I'm going to try and find someone who has not been on before for right now. Hang with me. We will try and get to as many views as possibly can. With this username, what could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Hey, Deadeye, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
How old are you, please, first of all, for TikTok guidelines?
30.
How old?
30 years old.
30, thank you. I appreciate you. All right, let kids be trans. What's your take?
Basically, the reason why I come up, I just wanted to actually ask, how far are you talking on trans? See, for me, I would be a hypocrite if I didn't let my son dress up as a female if he felt that way, as I'm a drag queen myself.
Okay.
But the reason why I come up is, are we talking just changing the appearance, or are we talking surgery and pills?
All right, I'm saying let kids be trans, and what is going to happen is going to depend on their age, of course. You know, there's no child having surgery at a very young age. There are rare exceptions under 18 and very rare ones. But when we say let kids be trans, we mean from a young age. It might be just letting them express themselves differently through their name, pronouns, a haircut, their clothing, and then after that, it can gender affirming care. One of the first steps would be therapy. And working with a therapist. After therapy, you get to, if needed, if there's a gender dysphoria diagnosis, Malcolm, correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, if there's a gender dysphoria diagnosis, you may be considered for puberty blockers if their age is appropriate and if it's deemed necessary, and potentially a hormone replacement therapy, again, for if there's a gender dysphoria diagnosis and if deemed appropriate. Again, surgeries rarely happen under the age of 18, maybe at 17 usually, if they're for top surgeries, if there is someone assigned female at birth, a trans man maybe entering college in the fall is one of the more common things. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's just like, I wouldn't have any issue if my child was trans. The reason why I come up is how far from untrans are you talking with kids? It's like dressing like a female, dressing like a male, having different pronouns, changing their name. That's one thing. But when they're making actual body changes, I don't agree with that until they're old enough to really know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, it's very rare, and it is done. All of this, for that matter. Once you get to anything with therapy and counseling, everything is with parental consent and also informed consent of the child, and also with multiple doctors involved. So it's, again, very rare that surgery would happen, and it's usually like 17.
Yeah, I get that. Then, on that basis, I agree with you, but I just wanted to, come up and see how far you were talking with kids being trans.
Of course.
It's just a curious question. Anyway, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. See ya.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Are people nice today? What's happening?
I know.
And I'm being nice. What's happening? Oh my God, I'm confused.
You are. You're like, I'm going to have some good conversations.
I'm being patient today. Oh, wait. This one. Is this who I think this is? Come on. Why is it not accepting?
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. How are you?
Doing good. How about you?
I am fabulous. Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you.
You too.
All right, I got to keep going.
Yeah, of course. Let's see. You get to join us here.
So rude. Kidding.
You're right.
See, when I ask you guys if you can tell my hair is red, you can't usually until you get in the sun. See?
Oh, very red.
A little bit.
We have Gold Zone joining us. Oh, Hot Dog, for those who don't know, is of the age of 18 and is a friend. And we're trying Gold Zone. We're trying here. Can you connect Gold Zone? Can you do it? Maybe. Nope. All right. Nope. Thank you, drive through. Oh, goodness, down the line. And Aristocat is here. Oh, I said that wrong, didn't I? I said your name wrong for all this time. How are ya? Did you mean to join, darling?
No, I did not.
I thought that might be the case. I'm like, wait. I said your name wrong too, and I knew you were crazy. Well, it's nice to hear your voice. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever heard my voice. So hi.
I don't think I have. This is the first time. I love it.
I've been in a lot of, Sorry about that.
Don't be sorry. I appreciate you. I'll see you later, okay?
Okay.
Bye, George. Such a peaceful day today. Who wants to ruin that for us? Oh, Bear, I'll get you 1 second. Thank you. I said Bear there. Yay. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have an old SNL reference. I'm just going to call you Ferguson. I'm not going to do the full name because I do appreciate that. How you doing, Ferguson?
Okay. Can you hear me? Because a lot of people are having issues.
I can hear you. Yes. How old are you, please, for TikTok?
43.
43? Great. Let kids be trans. What's your take, please? Oh, your signal's really weak.
Okay.
You got all the red bars. I heard you first. Try again. Keep getting a shot. Go ahead.
Okay, now can you hear me?
I can. Whatever you are, stay there. Or don't. Run again. Go ahead and try talking. Let's see what's up. Go ahead and give it a shot.
My daughter was just leaving. I was walking her out.
No problem.
But my opinion is it's a no-go as a child.
Okay.
Well, come on. I just think that, you got to think of it this way. When they're little kids, they want to be a lot of things. There's kids that want to be firemen. There's kids that want to be soldiers. You don't go rush them out into the fire and say, here you go.
You don't. Are any of those gender identities, though? Because they're not really analogous.
No, but it's still a thing that a child thinks about when they're little. A child thinks about a lot of things when they're little. I have no issue if the person wants to be trans, that's fine. You know what? I fought and almost died for a person to have their right to make a decision they want.
Right. So you're talking about the differences between wants and needs.
And that's the thing. They don't need to be a trans. They want to be one, but they don't need to.
First of all, trans or transgender is an adjective.
It's literally the same thing.
No.
It's the changing of one to the other.
That's not what trans means. In this case, trans is short for transgender, and it's not a change. Has nothing to do with change.
Okay, and I mean, still, I mean, you have to let a kid grow up enough to understand what everything is, not just let them rush into something that, just because they think they want it at the time, because it's a hot topic going on right now.
Nothing about gender affirming care is rushed. Nothing about it.
I mean, okay, so if say this kid, 6 years old, wants to start dressing like a woman because it's all over this, all over that, it's all over social media, it's all over TV, it's all over everywhere. They think it's a thing going now. And you say, okay,
It's really
fine.
not, though. It really isn't. And when it is all over everything, it's typically negative.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It shouldn't be negative because these people have a right to decide what they want.
No, it's not about
there should be
deciding.
no negativity to it.
It's not about deciding what you want. It's about developing that way. Some children will just develop, their gender identity will develop incongruent from their sex.
But when you
This
develop that, if you develop to that's what you want, you decide to do it.
No, because that'd be like
I mean,
because I developed as a girl that I decided to be a girl and I didn't. I just am.
I mean, if you say you develop into that, you just don't wake up the next morning in a dress. You develop into that. You decide to do it.
You also don't need to wear a dress to be a woman or a man.
And yes, I do have 4 kids. So just in case that question came up, and
Kids developed their gender identity.
I live in Florida, so I mean that'll let you know what my kids decided. My kids are honestly jerks.
What?
What?
My kids are honestly jerks. I mean, if they're smart asses, they.
What does Florida have to? Well,
it's Florida.
Okay.
Now you get it. It's Florida, and
not really. I don't think you have to be a jerk to. I don't think living in a state makes you a jerk. But
if you would actually spend a lot of time here, you would understand.
I lived in Florida for a period of time.
Okay,
are you suggesting that you're a jerk because you live in Florida? I don't understand that, for real. I'm not being
the habit. The habit grows.
What habit?
The habit of being a jerk and no nonsense and not caring because if you're
fortunately, trans is not a habit and it's nothing contagious, so I don't understand that.
No, but when she talked about how
so confused. Both of my kids were born in Florida.
When she talked about how all the media and stuff like that, it's usually bad for transgender and
people.
A lot of it comes from Florida.
Trend that like people want to hop on, right? Like
a lot of the hate comes from Florida.
Typically, they're treated negatively. They're portrayed negatively. Why would anybody choose to be trans?
I don't understand how you say there's a lot of hate and negativity toward it. There's a lot of it there's a National Transgender Day. There's every other weekend.
Wow.
Well, there's a day that must be okay then. My gosh, we're fine. Problem's been solved. I mean, come on.
No, but what you're saying is like you're acting as if every single thing that's out in the news and public about it is hate, but no, it's not.
It actually
completely
is.
Opposite.
Do you know how many bills are in your state alone have been introduced against LGBTQ Americans? I don't know the number off the top of my head. I can grab it. Give me a second. I can grab it from ACLU.org. But the thing is, I mean, Florida's right up there for a lot of problems of bills against LGBTQ Americans. The majority of them are focused on trans people, of trans youth and adults. So, I mean, yeah, having a day of recognition does not make the legislation go away.
There's a bill being proposed in Florida that if I change my gender marker on my license in California and visit Florida, I can be charged with fraud.
Okay, and like that literally goes along with what I said about Florida. In Florida, you're basically bred to hate transgender.
You know, Florida is still a swing state, right?
Yeah, and like, why are my kids trans then? Because they grew up in Florida.
Okay, and have you been here recently since Ron DeSantis has taken over and done every single thing possible to?
Just got married there, yes.
And
no, that's not like. So you said that they're like brought up there, so they have to be brought up there. Now I'm really confused.
You're literally saying like I literally said I live in Florida and that's where That's the reason why my kids are jerks. They act the way they do.
This has nothing to do with the topic, though.
Not a
It doesn't
bit.
make any sense.
It's not accurate. It has nothing to do with the topic.
Okay, and still, like I said, I don't think a kid has any right to make a decision like that until they're old enough to make a decision.
They
And
don't make that.
I have 4 kids, and I would not let them make any decision like that until they're old enough to realize what they're doing.
Okay. Decided that you were a boy. At what age were you when you decided that you were a boy? When did you make the
From birth.
decision? You decided at birth? You said at birth, said, "Hey, I'm going to decide today to be a boy." Is that when you made a decision?
Yeah,
So
because
kids,
that's when you make a decision.
people make decisions at birth. First of all, it's not a decision, and you're saying you made a decision at birth is just wild to me. No, it's not a decision. It's just
I was born a boy.
you were assigned male at birth. You may identify as a boy, possibly, quite likely, but that doesn't mean that you made a
I
decision.
didn't have a choice in that.
It's not a choice. You're just who you are.
And who I am as a boy, and that's what I was born as, and that's what I knew what I was.
Because you're cisgender. Your gender and sex are in alignment. Sure.
And who I am is non-binary.
The point is, no one has a choice in their gender identity.
Okay, you're off the app. I don't know if you know that. Can't hear you when you're off the app.
If you can't see us, we can't hear you.
Give you. Oh, there we go. I guess he's gone. All right, he left. Let me see who's next. So that was strange. My kids are in Florida, so they're jerks. Maybe move, or just maybe don't raise your child to be a jerk. You don't have to move. It's crazy. Also, why? I can't imagine going on live. My kids are jerks. Maybe don't do that.
None of the people raised in Florida I know are jerks. In my personal life.
I don't. Okay, new person joining right now. If you're able to connect, please first let us know your name and then how to pronounce your name, because I don't want to say it wrong.
It doesn't look like they're
I don't
connecting.
think they're going to. I'm going to give them a few seconds just in case.
And then, yeah, I don't know. I don't get that. Like, my kids are jerks because they're in Florida. Like,
Okay, that was a choice. You said it out loud.
weird.
All right, going down the line, and Nick and Sasha, come on in and let me know your age when you get here.
What's up?
How are you? Nick and Sasha, how old are you, please?
I am 26.
You're 26. Is this Nick? Just so
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
Sasha's my dog.
Oh, cool. Oh, look who that dog. Cute.
Yeah.
All right. So, Nick, let kids be trans. What's your take?
I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay, based on what?
Based on, I don't think we have the power to decide what we are.
You're correct. We're with you so far.
So we're born and given, I think that life is a test. I'm not a religious person, but I believe in God. I believe that life is a test. And you're given a set of tools to accomplish the test with.
Mm-hmm.
If you manipulate the tools you're given, then I believe that's cheating on the test. So you fail.
Do you take medication, Nick?
No.
Do you wear glasses?
No.
If your vision fades, will you get glasses?
Probably.
Have you ever gone to the hospital or gone to a doctor?
Fail.
Yes.
Sounds like you're failing a test then. Just use what life gives you.
Well,
right?
Okay, if you manipulate the physical...
Yeah, so if you go to the doctor, you're manipulating physical things, like the doctor's giving you
But those
medication
were
or
created
glasses.
by man. Those tools were created by man. These tools were created by creation itself.
Well, I not to be, and I respect everyone's beliefs as far as religion or spirits, but it has nothing to do with medical science and kids being trans.
But medical science has nothing to do with our gender and our decision-making process in our brain.
I don't know how I don't understand what you're like. Yeah, because
there's no decision being made here.
There is a decision if you change something. You are
so
physically deciding to make a
wouldn't you be
change.
saying though that like then God gave me a test to like see if I could live with my shitty vision or if I was going to give in and correct it?
Yeah. I mean, think about people that
And
are
I
completely
failed.
blind. Some people are given harder tests than others, and maybe that just means that they're meant for more to learn. They have to learn more. Or maybe reincarnation exists for people that don't pass the test.
What does that have to do with being trans? We're getting so wildly off the topic.
Because we're all born what we are. We don't make the decision of what we're born into. So why do we get to make the decision of what we become physically?
It's
we
not
can,
a decision.
We can outwardly.
Well, my body is a canvas.
My body is a temple.
That's great for you.
Everybody's body is. We're
No, my
spiritual
body is a
beings
canvas.
having a conscious experience.
Vision to get rid of my uterus. Like, so, like, yeah, we make decisions to improve our lives.
I agree.
What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that?
I think that we all have a destiny, and maybe I don't judge anybody for making the decision. I just question if they know what they're doing first.
That sounds like judgment.
Long term. But it's not putting that judgment onto them. It's just having the question of, is this wrong?
Nick, do you know what gynecomastia is?
No.
It's a condition that causes young cisgender boys to develop breast tissue and have breasts. Do you think that they should be able to have treatments to remove that tissue? Or should they live with the breasts and stuff what they were given in life?
I think it's up to them. It's their decision to make. But as what Vlad was saying, I've been here since Vlad was talking, so I just caught the tail end of his. I could tell his vocabulary just wasn't quite good enough to explain what he was saying. He didn't mean control. He meant influence. We're here to influence our children to go in the way that benefits them the most. And when you know that transgender people are discriminated and have a harder time getting through society in a lot of ways, that's something that most parents would try to direct their kids away from, just to prevent them, just to give them access to.
Why don't we address the discrimination instead of the actual problem of people discriminating against them rather than people being who they are?
Well, that's easy to
Would you say that for any other marginalized
if you just have kids, that's all you can focus on.
No, but would you say that for any other marginalized community? Would you say that we should try and make them not be part of whatever community it may be because people are going to discriminate against them because people are...
I believe that there should be no discrimination whatsoever. I believe that we should question things in a non-discriminatory way. And I don't think it's up to any human to determine what another human gets to do. But I also don't think it's up to a human to determine for themselves.
Makes sense. Like women are discriminated against, right? Like women are discriminated against. So should we just prevent people from becoming women?
No.
Well, that's why that's just kind of silly.
I mean, discrimination's not going to just end because people that are out of balance, that don't understand the reality they're in,
Wow. So tell me again how you don't judge? With a statement like that, it was super judgmental. Tell me how you don't judge?
Well, everybody judges. Everybody's got their judgments, but it's not that I don't put them onto other people. I don't make people feel bad about their decisions. I just question them.
Should transgender kids have access to gender affirming care?
No, I don't think so.
Then you are putting your judgment onto other people, saying your judgment is more important than someone having health care. So you are putting a judgment on people.
Kids' imaginations are so wild. I remember thinking I was an actual soldier in a war when I was playing with the toy.
Oh my God, this is exhausting. Is a soldier a gender identity?
No, but is a gender identity more important or above race?
What? What?
Okay, so I identify as a black man. So am I black now?
No, because race is biosocial. It's a phenotype and an ethnicity.
Gender in a different light, in a different capacity than race.
Are you white, Nick? Are you white?
I'm Asian and white.
You're Asian and white.
Why? When I hear people saying identify as black, that just screams racism to me.
It just screams it.
I don't understand how that would be racist. Or sorry about that word.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
I just don't see.
Okay, cool.
But
So you don't judge people, but you've made several judgments in this conversation.
I don't
and you
judge
also- you
people
also
to them.
applied
I don't
your
tell
judgments-
people that they're doing something wrong or make
But
them
you've also
feel
said that,
bad about their own
you've also
decision.
said that trans people shouldn't have access to health care. So they're going to feel bad whenever they don't have access to health care because you don't think they should have health care. So yeah, that is judging.
But
and
no, I think they should have health care. I think everybody should have an equal opportunity, equal access to health care if they work.
Some people can't work.
God damn,
Well,
that's
if they
another
can't
one.
work, then
Let's add
that's
ableist
what
to the
tax
list.
money should go to, is helping the people that can't help themselves. But the economy doesn't work in a way that supports people. It just influences people to take advantage of other people. And it seems like they're trying to push these narratives on us, like the bathroom bills and stuff. If
Who
it's
is
a
they?
public
Oh my
bathroom,
God, who is they? Who is they?
the government, the overall
The government's pushing what on us specifically?
Biden literally is trying to push this bill that bans states from delegating their own bathroom laws.
Right, so people should be able to use a fucking toilet without someone judging them. Yeah.
Okay, so when it's a single bathroom or a porta potty, there's no gender difference on a porta potty. Anybody can use it. When it's a single or family bathroom, there's no gender sign on it. It's just a bathroom. Anybody can use it. But when it's a group
There's no law to
bathroom,
stop anyone from using any
when it's an
bathroom.
open bathroom where multiple people go in at a time and there's just an open door, no women are fighting for trans women to men to use a men's bathroom.
Oh my God, you just keep getting worse and worse.
Where's okay? Would
incorrect.
you want to use a men's bathroom? Well,
Would I use a man's bathroom?
yeah. Would you want to? If
Would I
you were,
want to be forced to use a man's bathroom? No, because I'm not a man.
but I'm saying that the argument is mainly for men to women to use women's bathrooms.
No, it's not.
Trans women are not men.
Yeah, and also it includes trans men as well, but somehow people don't care about trans men because, misogyny and transphobia.
And nobody wants to sit on a man's toilet.
What?
Guys don't even want to sit on the toilets in the men's room. Why would they argue or fight for them to be able to use that bathroom? The argument itself, just if it's a public bathroom, that's where I go with the argument with what you're born with.
So and how do you want to enforce that? Do you want to check people's genitals at the door for the bathroom?
So yeah, who's gonna determine if somebody is actually transgender or not? Because they could just walk into the women's bathroom dressed fully.
Prove if I'm cis. Sorry, Slash.
I feel
Exactly.
Like I hate
So it's
hitting
easy
bingo.
to keep the bathrooms in place.
I feel like we're hitting bingo on every anti-trans talking point for someone who's not judging people. I mean, honestly, people have used bathrooms. Trans people have been using bathrooms forever. To
me, in terms of kids, it just seems dangerous.
What's dangerous? Can you show me the harm that's coming from someone using a bathroom in a stall?
Okay, young boys are not safe around girls by themselves like that.
Actually, what's very wrong about what we said, first of all, is as far as children, since you're very concerned about children, the majority of children are assaulted by cisgender heterosexual men, frequently white.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
right.
who is to determine
hold on.
who
it has
claims as
nothing-
trans if they're not?
1 second. It has nothing to do with trans people. So maybe cisgender men should no longer have access to bathrooms since they are the problems, because the majority of people assaulting children are cisgender heterosexual men, and the majority of them are family members or people that they know.
But the argument that I have is for the kids mostly, because it's not about the people who are actually trans. It's about the people taking advantage of this new thing that they're doing, that they're pushing on everybody.
Should not be allowed to use the bathroom
without
Can you tell me an example of a time when someone has gone where a bad actor, a horrible person, a P3DO, has gone to a bathroom door to get ready to assault someone and said, well, I'm not going to go in there because there's a stick figure wearing a dress, so I can't do that.
But if it's
Can you address
publicly
anything that
acceptable
I've
for them to already be in there?
Can you address literally anything I've said?
If it's publicly acceptable for them to be in there in the first place, then it makes it way more easily accessible for something bad to happen.
So cisgender people are the problem, so cisgender people should not have access to restrooms.
Everybody's the problem. People are dangerous. They're not right. There's wrong people everywhere in every aspect.
And once
of life.
again, who statistically is the number one demographic of people assaulting children? What's the number one demographic, please?
Probably old white men.
Cisgender, no, not just all in the old, cisgender heterosexual men. So it has nothing to do with trans people. So stop putting the crimes of cis people on trans people.
But kids themselves, teenagers, especially high schools, imagine that. Imagine high schools. Remember how messed up kids are in the head in high school? Just imagine high schoolers having the ability to go into the girls' room without teachers' oversight.
Can you show me where it's been a problem? Can you see? Let me see the statistics of an issue where this is happening.
I actually saw a story just like 4 or 5 days ago on AP News.
Of course you did. I'm asking for specific citations of studies that are demonstrating an increase of problems here.
I mean, I could go find the article and find the study that it's based off of. It's just
do that and come back. I appreciate that.
It's just a
not happening
editorial.
Yeah, it's an editorial. Editorials are not
Associated Press. Associated Press is unbiased. They just post things that happen that actually happen.
Editorial. What is an editorial? An editorial by nature is not. It's opinionated. That's what an editorial is. Right?
I just think the whole narrative, the whole thing. Why is the presidency?
Are we going to address nothing that I actually say? Why, Nick? Why is every time I've said something, I give you something very specific, you pivot to another question, another point, another. Well, how about this? You don't address anything that's said. You're not actually having a conversation. You're just,
okay, what question do you have for me?
Which one did you ignore? Like all of them. I asked you for a citation and a claim. You told me it's an editorial. I asked about this. We end up on.
I can't give you the link to the description.
I know, because it doesn't exist.
It does exist.
I'm sure there's an
editorial. Go back and come back and find it.
And there might be some situations where of course there are bad actors in every group of people, but you're putting the crimes of cisgender people making that the responsibility of trans people, which makes absolutely no sense.
I don't understand how that doesn't make sense. Oh
wait, are trans people the perpetrators of these crimes that you're alleging? Because what you're saying is not that.
I just think.
Answer the question. I don't care what you think. Answer the question.
I don't understand the question.
Are trans people the main perpetrators of these crimes as you are alleging?
Most likely not. I don't think trans people commit many crimes. So why is it the responsibility
of trans people who are just trying to use a toilet? Why?
Exactly. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's people that will take advantage if it's put into legislation.
Oh my God. Okay, cool. All right,
so we need proper legislation. We don't need to focus on bathrooms. We need to focus on funding.
I agree. Let people fucking pee. I completely agree. The fact that we have to make legislation.
They're focusing tons of money towards these bills.
Right. So how about people let LGBTQ people live and stop making bills against the existence of LGBTQ people?
So why is it only focused on the LGBTQ community? That's why everybody else feels disparaged by it, because they're not.
They consistently attack. They need to have a villain. They need to villainize and to vilify a community. And whenever things got better as far after marriage equality within the community, then people started attacking the trans community even more. This happens all the time. It's happened for decades. It's not new.
But they're attacking it now because it's being publicly promoted, and
it's not publicly promoted. People are trying to fucking pee, and people are trying to stop them from peeing.
But why is that what we're trying to implement in schools?
The opposite of what you're saying is happening. Trans people have already been able to use the bathroom that aligns with their identity, and there has been legislation stopping them, preventing them from being able to do that. Not what you keep saying.
But they're trying to make blanket legislation that bans the states from making their decisions. That's more government overpower. It's a way to give the government power that they don't deserve, because only God deserves that power.
Nick. Nick.
Oh wait, only God. Wait, only God deserves the power. I
Only
thought you
God
weren't
deserves that
religious,
power.
So you've lied the entire conversation.
I'm not
It's about
religious,
religion.
but I believe in God strongly. I've studied all religions, and the only one I believe is all of them in some ways, in a lot of ways not. I believe in God, but I don't believe in any religion. Just like political parties, they were created for a good reason, and they were manipulated over time to control people.
Okay, cool. I'm good. I don't even know where we're going with all of this, honestly. I mean, you haven't quantified why it's an issue to let kids be trans, which is the actual original topic. Instead, you want to transphobic talking points like bathrooms.
Back to my original. God makes the decision.
I don't care about God. I don't care.
I know you don't.
It has nothing to do with people's existence. If that's
It
your
has
belief, that's
everything
fantastic.
to do with existence.
If
Existence
God is your
everything.
belief system, that's 100% fine for you, and I have no issue with that being your belief system. But this isn't a belief system; people's existence. No one's stopping you from practicing your religion. But no one's saying you can't use a bathroom because you're religious, right? No one's saying that you can't have rights as everyone else because you're religious. Of course not. And if someone was doing that, even though I'm not
But what
religious, I'm
rights do
fighting for your
trans
right to
people
do
not
that.
have?
Oh my God.
The right to equal access to public spaces, and the right to healthcare.
What public spaces are trans people banned in?
In some states, you can ban trans people from from private businesses like restaurants, movie theaters, hotels, which is unconstitutional.
Yeah, I would agree that would be unconstitutional to ban anybody for
Nick, is your head up your ass?
most of the time. Yes.
Okay, that's why you're not following this conversation. Thank you. Thanks for playing. Jesus Christ.
What spaces? Maybe the bathrooms you've been advocating against.
Right?
For starters,
Oh my God.
maybe that one that you're fighting for people to be able to.
Wild. Ugh. All right, bitch. Can you add someone else, please?
Do I have to? All right, we got. What do we have here? Who do we have here? All right, Jesse is just next in the queue. I don't know how they arrange it. I don't know. I wish it was like in order of how long they've been there. But anyhow, Jesse, how old are you, please? Jesse, did you join by accident? Are you there? I'll give one more shot. Jesse, can you hear us? You're on live. I fear Jesse may have joined by accident. Jesse, I appreciate you. If you wanted to come in, try it again. And right down the line. And here we go. We have Brooklyn joining us. Brooklyn, when you get in, please let me know your age. Or maybe not. Going once, going twice. Goodbye to Brooklyn. All right, we'll try again if you're there. See who else we have. Right down the line. Finn, come on in. Say hello. Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Anyone notice difference?
Let me see bigger screen. Can we do big screen? I can't see.
You're home.
I'm not home, but
Out of the hospital.
I'm in normal people clothes.
Oh, yes. Oh my God, I'm so slow.
I'm in normal people clothes.
Yes, how are you? Yes, I love that. Love. Yeah, I wish that the hospitals would have better attire. I don't approve of their fashion choices. Let me see here. And next up we have S. S, what is your age, please, for TikTok guidelines? Oh, thank you, drive through. All right.
Someone said LMAO, he's so desperate for attention. First of all, my pronouns are they, them. Second of all, who's not on this app? That's why we post videos.
Right? Unless you meant me, I will gladly take your attention. Whoever said that, I'll take it. I need it. I'm fine. I'm good. Adrock, what's your age, please? Hello.
I am 35.
You're 35. Cool. Welcome. Let kids be trans. What's your take?
I don't believe kids are really trans, and I believe that transgender is a mental disorder.
Okay, well, that would be
Be
incorrect.
addressed accordingly.
Where are you getting that it's a mental disorder? Where
From
you
the original DSM.
the original DSM? Cool. So you're not using any updated information. You're using things that's old and outdated, like multiple.
I don't use any information that uses skewed statistics. You know, statistics are used by both sides accordingly, right? You can fudge numbers.
Adrock, the way the new DSM-5s are, oh, please don't drink on live.
Oh, my apologies. I can shut my camera off.
Yeah. So, the reason the new DSM-5 comes out is because they do more studies. There are hundreds of, and you're also going to get us flagged if you're smoking on live.
All right. See you later. It's just a smoke. You don't believe there's any politics played in that, as in favor?
Yeah, I'm good. So yeah, no, we're not going to do two things we're going to get flagged for. Absolutely not. I don't wish to use the DSM-1. Well, yeah, then we're going to go do old information on everything in life.
Why? Yeah, we should just go back to thinking the Earth was flat too. Why not?
Absolutely. Let's go back as far as we possibly can. All right, Jesse Lee. May I ask your age, please, for TikTok guidelines? Jesse Lee? Hello? Jesse Lee? Knock, knock. Hello? Can you hear us? Did you join by accident?
Hello?
Oh, there you are. How's it going? May I ask your age, please?
I'm 30.
You're 30. Thank you. Let kids be trans. What's your take?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
Okay. Any questions?
I got flagged. I got to reset.
I thought that might happen. Okay, just if you want to get back in the box, we have to come back in a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Flag.
Corn cob pipe really sell.
I have cat fur in my eye. What are you doing?
Looking sexy.
Oh.
I don't know if you're hungry or not.
I am very hungry. On the bottom, I think we're.
What did you call me?
Okay.
It goes in my.
What?
What did you call me?
I didn't call you anything.
I heard bottom. Well, one of those.
That's her husband. It all makes sense now. Like, what does that mean?
Now we know. Okay. I can't believe I only got 2 hate messages that whole time. That's wild.
Wow. Hello.
Hello.
Greg's actually not my husband, but that's funny. Hi, how old are you?
I am 31.
Cool. So, let kids be trans. Ugh, I have cat fur in my eye.
No, I totally agree. I'm on team love, be who you are, happiness, sprinkles, all that good stuff. I was more so here to talk to the people who are like coming against it. Because I just find they just never have any logic behind it. You know, especially the one that drives me the craziest is people who say, oh, well, trans people just want to go into bathrooms to hurt other people or kids or whatever. And it's like the people who would actually do that, the kind of people who would go into a bathroom to hurt someone, do you really think that a law is going to like, oh, now I can go in, now I'm going to do it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense.
Like, they're doing it already, and this idea that they're going to also be like, hey, there is a stick figure wearing a dress. I can't possibly go past that point. You know, that's not happening. If someone's going to be a horrible person, do that. They're doing it. It has nothing to do with it.
Xander, what are they not old enough to decide? We're not talking about letting like a 5-year-old kid go have surgery. But if a 5-year-old human who was born presenting male wants to wear a dress, that is not going to harm anyone. What is the issue? We're not talking about, like, I agree, yes, they should absolutely be older to make the decision of surgeries and, going on anything like that. But I think if humans just want to express themselves as who they feel they are, that's not hurting anyone. Where is the issue? I'm willing to listen to you if you actually have, like, a logical reason behind it. But how does someone wearing a dress or someone wearing pants or someone wearing a sports uniform, whatever they're wearing, how does that affect you? How does that upset you?
Spoiler alert, it does not. It does not. But they get very upset about it. And also, Xandra, I do encourage you, if you're going to say they're too young, that's THEY''RE. Never too young to learn proper grammar. I appreciate you.
Yeah, they don't usually have logical reasoning, Mimi. That's kind of the problem.
Oh.
Let's see, do we have anyone who disagrees right now?
Well, the thing is, do you know the guy who, and I'm going to try and be very careful with my wording because I know you guys can get flagged, but do you remember how the guy before, Ab Rock or whatever his name was, he was preaching that it is mentally a mental disorder, I guess. Yeah. But then he also was claiming that he believes in God. So he's saying that people who want to express themselves and wear what they want, that's mentally ill. But believing in a bearded man up in the clouds with magical powers, that's totally valid. Like, that makes no sense.
Yep.
Like you're the ones who maybe. I believe in higher powers. I do believe that there's like power out there, and I believe that our loved ones can watch over us. Is there a bearded man in the clouds with some magical powers? No, this is not Harry Potter. No.
Well, give me a second. We'll try and get some opposition to join here. You want to hang for a little bit, Mimi?
I'm down. Yeah, if you guys want to kick me, though, you can kick me. But I was just more so here to.
I'll probably keep you in for another one, and then we'll rotate people in. I'm waiting to see if Hotza comes back as well. But give me 1 second. I'm going to see who we have coming up next. Jessie Lee going to try and join again. Jessie Lee was in before we had to stop, so let's get them back in. Jessie Lee, when you join, remind us of your age again, just for guidelines for this app.
Hello, I'm 30.
You're 30. Welcome back again. So let's give it another shot. We had to restart. Let kids be trans. What was your take again, Jessie Lee, please?
I sort of feel like I don't know too much about it.
That's right. What would
Oh, sorry, that's my little one.
That's okay.
She's trying to talk as well, apparently.
That's okay. No problem.
So I've got 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
None of them have ever shown sort of. I mean, sometimes I make mistakes, and I'll say to my son, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, hen," and he'll say, "Mum, I'm a boy," and I'm like, right, okay. So obviously, I don't really know what it's like to go through something like that.
Sure. So do you have any questions you want to ask, like, as a mother? Because we have, coincidentally, another mother here. Do you have any questions you would like to ask about that might be something helpful for you?
I guess I just kind of feel like, how do you know, like, for sure? Because, sure. I mean, if any of mine had ever turned around and said, like, they felt like they were, they were meant to be a boy or a girl or anything like that, I guess my sort of go-to point would be why. And I always kind of, like, if my kids want to wear, like, a dress or anything like that, I mean, my boys now wouldn't, but when they were little, my little boy, he used to dress up in his auntie's ballerina outfit, and, like, did, like, things like that. And he's, like, big on, like, getting his nails done and things like that. And then, so, I mean, these are all things that are classed as sort of feminine, but I'm guessing it goes much further than just because boys can like feminine things and not want to be feminine.
Yeah, so, hang on 1 second, Jessie Lee. Give me 1 sec. Mel, are you able to address that question right now? But she's asking about how do you know as a mother?
Yeah, I'm setting up shit. Yeah, so
it's you're looking for insistence, persistence, and consistence. And you had a really good example earlier when you talked about when you misgender one of your kids, they'll correct you and be like, "No, I'm a boy or I'm a girl." Well, transgender kids can do the same thing. Just it would be the opposite of what. So like you would be assuming like your child who was assigned male at birth is a boy. That child may say, "No, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl."
Right, okay. See, I've never had that, but I feel like my response to that would, I would probably, like, see, that's why I say, like, I'm not very knowledgeable in this, because I would probably say, well, no, you're a boy, and then I feel like that would be, like, wrong, the way things are going now, because then you're trying to tell them that they aren't who they think they are, but...
Exactly, that would be a problem. That is correct. However, again, you are looking for insistence, consistency, and persistence. So we're not talking about a child who does this once. You would be looking for multiple things. But in that case, like it depends on the age of your child too. If they're a teenager and they come out and tell you that, like there should be no reason for you to question them at all. If they're 5, you may ask them, well, what does that mean to you? Like, why do you think that you're a girl? And they could say something, if they said something like, oh, because I like to wear dresses. And then you could say something like, well, you know, just you being you can still be a boy and like dresses too. And they may be like, okay, well, then I'm a boy. Like, it's going to depend on the child.
Yeah.
But they could say other things like, no, because I just know that I'm a boy. I know that everyone is wrong. I wish that I could just wake up as the boy that I am, or I wish that a fairy would come along and change me to a girl while I'm sleeping. Things like that actually can be more of an indication that you have a child who is trans than a child who just wants to express themselves in a different way. They typically will want to try to figure out why everyone around them is gendering them incorrectly.
Right, and I'm guessing...
Say something like, I feel like I'm in a costume when I am... I feel like I'm in a costume when you tell me that I'm a boy, or something like that. It's more than just gender expression.
If I can just chime in, I'm not a mom, but I'm an aunt to like 6 kids. Like my brothers have all the kids. And one of my niece and my nephew have each approached me about different things within like the LGBTQ plus community. And I think for me, like my experience, I think the most important thing, especially when they're kids, is to simply listen and accept. Just because my nephew comes to me and says, I want to wear a dress and wear Barbies or play with Barbies, okay, cool. That doesn't mean you're gay. That doesn't mean you're trans. No. You're a human being who wants to wear a dress and play Barbies. That's fine. But you know what? If down the road you realize, you know what, I do like guys or this and that, like that's fine. I think that it's not putting them in a box. You know, it's like, oh, because of it's like, have you heard the Macklemore song? I love that song. Where he's like, oh, well, I grew up and I thought I was gay because of this, this, and this. It's like, no, only you know that stuff and they will figure that out. I think that with children, especially, like I would hate to be a child in today's world. It is tough. It is hard, especially with the internet and the bullying. If you listen to them and you just accept it, that's all you need to do. That is all they need. They need that safe space. And I am that safe space because my brothers are somewhat accepting, but they still have a hard time. So that's why my nieces and nephews come to me, because they're like, you listen to us, you accept us, and you don't judge us. And that's all it is. It really is that simple.
Yeah. I mean, that statement was like very like thingy, because my kids, when they were little, I remember one of them, he was like a little boy and he used to love to play with babies, and like he would get comments made from the family like saying things like, oh, you know, if any of them are going to be gay, it's going to be him and all that stuff, which I used to think was just cruel and like nasty. And I mean, he's going to be who he's going to be, but I think that letting a boy play with like dolls or babies or Barbies or anything like that. I'm like, wow, so he grows up to know how to take care of a baby. Bad parenting on me, you know? Like, I think it's pretty important that boys and girls or trans are obviously acknowledged on, like, because babies and things like that are kind of the future. So the nourishment and making sure that, like, our little ones know how to look after their little ones, and it's just making the best future possible.
I agree. And I think that you're doing an incredible job as a mom. And I think that your kids are very, very lucky to have someone who's so understanding, because people don't realize how many kids out there unfortunately harm themselves, and how many kids end up being homeless because they're kicked out of their homes simply for being themselves, and their parents can't accept that. So I think that it's wonderful, and your kids are so lucky to have you and have that safe environment.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, I adore being a mum, and just knowing that all my kids are happy is like the best feeling. And when sometimes during the day, obviously it's stressful, but see when they're all sleeping, it's like, bliss. But yeah, I always fight for what they believe they want, and I would never stop.
Yeah, no, I think you're doing great. I just wanted to comment on Miss Beach. She's saying, like, don't push it. None of us are talking about pushing it, and I think it's really crazy that the group of people who are against the trans community are extremely, extremely uneducated and literally run on conspiracy, because you think that we are bringing these kids into a room and we're forcing them, like, okay, whatever you were born, you're the opposite now, and you're gonna do this. No, it literally is, if these kids approach us and want, okay, yeah, I don't think you understand what gaslighting is, Miss Beach. Look up the definition, honey. But my point is, we're basically saying, if a child comes to you and says, hey, I think I'm a little different, you're like, okay, do you want to talk about it? Do you feel comfortable? Like, that's all that this, as far as I can tell, that's all that this live is about, is if the children come to you for either advice or just to express themselves, be a good human being. If your top priority is not that child's happiness, you're not a good parent and you're not a good person, period.
Yeah, like literally have conversations with your kids. The amount of people that like don't, or like imply that they don't actually speak to their children, or that their children can't know anything about anything, it's just wild to me. Like, have a conversation with your kids.
Jessie Lee, did you have any other questions? We have some others in the box. I want to make sure that we respect.
No, I didn't, but thank you for having me up.
Of course, thank you for thank you for being an amazing mom. You're amazing.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Let me get the next person down the line here, because we got some stacking up in the queue. Who do we have? We have Hot Dog is back. Welcome back, gorgeous. And give me 1 second. Mimi, is it okay if I rotate you out for a little bit? Is that all right, love?
No worries. It was lovely talking to you all.
You as well. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
How do you feel? Look like you're mobile.
We have hot dogs there, and I'm going to get to the next guest as well, just to kind of roll right along. Big W for Mimi in the chat there. Mimi is fabulous. And Ivy, come on in and let us know your age when you get here.
Hi.
Ivy, how old are you, please?
I'm 28.
You have your.
Can Brett prescribe the extra? Oh, I muted for 1 second, Hot Dog. I'm sorry, my love. I couldn't hear you. So, Ivy, how old again, please?
I'm 28.
28. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hey, let kids be trans. What's your take, please?
My take is education. Absolutely educate children, have this conversation. I honestly think that it would be okay to have this topic in a high school setting in like sex ed education. And I think it should be properly taught, not religiously taught or like scientifically taught, like
actually taught with like facts and like what trans actually is. I think whether or not they are or aren't trans, everyone should be properly educated, because I'm seeing people come up with like wild takes and they don't even know what trans actually looks like.
Absolutely true. How many people join these lives and they say, I'm against trans people? Okay, can you say something? What does being trans mean? And they don't know.
Right.
And it's okay not to know, right? It's okay not to have the answers, but it's just like having hateful opinions based on lack of education is just not the best combo.
Exactly. And the most like best thing you could do for newer generations is educate them and give them knowledge, whether or not they are or aren't trans. Because if you're like sitting there being like, okay, Billy's playing with Barbies and dress up, I should let him know it's okay to be a girl. I'm like, let's calm down. Little Billy might just like to dress up. So like, if he comes up to you like, oh, I might be trans at like 13, 12 years old, you're gonna be like, wait, do you even know what that is? You know? So I just think it's important to like teach everyone.
Exactly, because what you said there, what a kid plays with does not define who they are.
Right, and I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah. Ivy, awesome. Any questions or anything you want to say? Or we're going to bounce around a lot of people here. Anything you want to say?
That was just my piece. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Ivy. Have a good one.
You too.
Right. And going down there on the line. Ivy was fantastic. G-Fo Hicks. Come on in.
The thing is, too, is when it comes to that, right? A lot of times people think that it's us that are saying that we're saying that supporting a kid who is trans or talking about these topics is we're the ones who will take a kid a boy who wants to wear a dress and say that you're a girl. And that is not what we're saying at all. A lot of background noise.
Yeah, you go. Hicks, may I ask your age, please?
Nope.
Are you inside of an engine? Are you there, Hicks? Hello.
That's not.
Okay, yeah, that's right next, down the line. All right. Hicks, if you're there and you can hear us, you're welcome to come back whenever you're out of the engine. That'd be cool. Danny's up next. Danny,
it sounds like they are inside of the engine.
Mr. Moody!
Hello, Danny.
Hi.
So, hold on, real quick, Danny. You got back a select house map and right back in.
And you live on in my chamber.
I'm sorry, what?
You got to echo a little bit. Go up and back into the app for 1 second.
For more full episodes of More
like you're checking a text message, and then come back in.
/Fraternity Court.
Promotional consideration provided by.
Dear younger self, just a minute. Even though clear skin feels impossible right now, believe me.
I'm gonna hit you for 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so what you want to do is, okay, no worries, Danny. I mute you for 1 second, not trying to silence you. I want to have a conversation. So what you want to do, if you have an iPhone, I don't know, Android, someone help me out, just swipe up from the bottom as if you got a text message, you're checking another app. So it's not gonna like completely close the app. It's gonna put it off the screen for a second and then come back in and unmute. So we'll actually see you go to a pause screen, then come back in. If it doesn't work, I'll bounce you out and have you close your app and rejoin. I'll let you in first. It's not happening. Danny, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to close you out. Make sure you're following Mel if you aren't already. And you'll be the first one right back in. I'll wait a second for you, okay? I'm going to bounce you out. Just close the app for 1 second, reopen it, and come back in. And we're going to pause 1 second because I want to give Danny the respect. Also, when you come in, turn the TV down, please.
They follow. I saw the follow, so maybe they do.
Perfect. Okay, let's keep an eye out for Danny here. Not there yet. See, we have 4 others in the box. Hang in there. Be patient if you would. We're going to try and get Danny back in. And that's not Danny yet. Still waiting for Danny. Whenever we get Danny. Oh, Danny's back. Oh, that's the wrong person. Balkan, I'm going to re-add you in 1 second. I'm so sorry.
It moves. I hate it when it moves.
Yeah, Balkan, it moved on you. I'm not kicking you out. Get back in the queue and I'll get you next since I accidentally got you there. We're going to try Danny one more time. Don't move this time. Sit still. All right, Danny, let's try it again. Let's give it another shot. See if it connects for you. All right, try talking, Danny.
Hello.
I think we're good. Danny, what's your age, please?
51.
Nice. You can echo again. You hear it, Mel?
Yeah, but it sounds different this time.
It does.
Is it better this time?
Is it me? Am I the problem? Hold on.
No. I don't know. Are you on Bluetooth or something?
No, I have my headphones plugged in.
That could be what it is.
Is this better?
Let's try again.
No, it's worse.
Worse.
Is that better now?
Let's try again. No, way worse.
Is that better now?
Try again, and it's still an echo. Still there. Okay, Dan, let's close the app completely. That's sort of bad. There's some weird glitches on this app. Stopping right now. Try again. Are you on an iPhone or an Android?
Android.
Damn it. Android users, help me.
Yeah, I have no idea. Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, Danny, the echo's really bad. Can you actually try and come back another time? I'm so sorry. I don't know how to fix it.
I'll just text it in the box then.
Okay, we'll keep an eye for you.
All right.
Thank
Here
you.
it comes.
I appreciate you. All right. Let's hang for 1 second to hear Danny's question or comment, see what they had to say. Thank you for your patience on that, 'cause that was kind of crazy pants. She mutes anyone who doesn't agree. No, Polly, we just mute you. Polly, would you like to join the conversation? Paul John 67. Paul John 67. Paging twice. Come on, Paul.
So
Hold
it's
on.
funny too. They say it's me, and like I rarely even do anything, interact with the comments at all. So
I know. It's usually me. I'm the problem.
that's what it's her.
Where's Paul at? Paul, I'm gonna get you. Come on in, Paul. I feel like we're playing hide and go seek, and I can't find you because this list is huge. Paul, you're not here. That's wild. All right, let's try. Was it Balkan? I think. S says I love the bitch. They're so nice. Oh, hang on for 5 more minutes. It changes rapidly. It depends on the people. If people are nice, I'm nice. When they're not, I'm not either. Balkan, come on in and let's get your age when you get in this time. Sorry, we lost you before. Hello, your age, please.
18. I'm 18.
What year were you born, please?
Sorry?
What year were you born, please?
Hold on. I can't really hear you. Hold on. I gotta go AFK and I can't really hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might be a little suspicious. What year was I born?
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. And they left. How do I swipe out of this app and get to the calculator? All right. Who do we have next? Oh God! Now we got Caitlin fucking Grace. That's their name. That's literally the name. I wasn't being mean.
I'm sorry for my name, and I'm also sorry for my voice. I'm very, very sick right now. But I'm 17, and I'm turning 18 in October, but I am pregnant right now.
Caitlin, I definitely appreciate you being very honest, but for our guidelines, you have to be 18, of our TikTok's guidelines, you need to be 18 to be on live. If you have a question, can I ask you to drop in the chat and we'll keep an eye out for it? Is that cool? I know.
okay.
You're honest. I appreciate your honesty, and I hope you feel better soon. I really do. Thank you. Oh, goodness. Hot dog is back.
Oh, I gotta mute.
Oh, what? Oh, is there a vacuum coming? All right, let me see. Do we have... I'm looking... Did I miss Danny's question in the chat? I didn't see Danny's question, and I'm looking... Was it talking about... No, wrong Caitlin. Wrong Caitlin. I'm so respectful. I try to. But when people get spicy, game on, honey. I take off the earrings, put up the hair, do what you gotta do. All right. I don't see the next person. Okay, cool. And we have in the guest box joining. We have no one in the queue. Do you all agree that we should let kids be trans? Have we reached that point in time? Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. I have something I need to do. I need to do it. I need to do this. Hang with my kids.
I do need to correct something that I said earlier. Race isn't biological. It is social.
Thank you. Why can I not find this person? I'm trying to find them and I can't. It's making me crazy. Where are they? Come on, person saying crazy things in the comments. Do it again. Where are you? Mama's gonna get you. Come on. Oh, there we are. There we are. I can't see you for some reason. Ms. Beach, you have more than enough followers to join. And you have more than enough to say. Trust me, I've heard more than enough in the chat. I would love to hear your voice. Come have a conversation like an adult. Let's chat. It'll be fun, I promise. What could go wrong? Perfect Cell, you are wrong. This is very skibbity. Thank you very much. How dare you? Like, I would say hashtag super skibbity if I were you. No one wants to join. None.
I guess not. We had a bunch before the reset.
So many. If you don't bring the topic up to the child, won't know what it is, will likely not become it. Huh?
It's not how it works. It's not how it works.
No one brought up trans to me. I didn't become cis.
Right? Hello? Preds. Oh yeah, my cat's on prednisone. You're correct, Ann. My cat's on prednisone. It's a steroid to help her with her allergies. Yeah, I'm glad you're concerned about my cat's medication. That's cute.
Your cat is allergic to... Are they allergic to cats?
No, she has like a skin condition allergy, food allergy stuff. And on top of that, she's also... I'm talking about it now. She shows up. And I also had to get her other stuff because she's now having like... oh my God! Adora, happy transanniversary! 4 more days. I also had to get her regular stuff because she's got like regular seasonal allergies like me now. I didn't have them, but I have to get my ass to get Claritin or something today because I step outside and my face puffs up right now. Barney, I love that you cared enough to leave a comment, but you're not going to misgender someone. Cool. Shh.
Speaking of allergy meds, I need to take mine too.
What should I take? I've never taken medicine like ever. So what should I take?
I don't know. I have a prescription because of I don't know, a couple months ago, I started with like full body itching and we don't know what it is.
Full body
itching. Trying to figure out what it is, but the allergy meds work. So.
All right, we have some people now in the box suddenly. We have Star Heart. Come on up, Claritin. Thank you, love. May I ask your age, new guest?
Oh, I'm 34. I was 1989.
Thank you. And what do I call you? A boy named So, is that correct?
It's actually boy named Sue, like from Johnny Cash, because my grandfather really liked.
I haven't heard that forever, and I didn't get the reference on the bad one.
So my name is Wes, so Sue, even though it says So, but like it's my name backward.
I love it. Well played. Well played. So yeah, what's your take? Let kids be trans?
Oh no, for sure. I am actually a trans man myself, and I just wanted to say I appreciate what you do, and I watch you pretty often. So that's all I really wanted to say, and that to be as far as protecting trans kids and letting them be who they really are, because people just can't let people be people, So. Even if, they are kids and, they're like, don't control my children.
They also forget that kids are people, right? Like they're their own individual people with their own thoughts and feelings.
And it's funny when, they're like, don't let people control my children and like how I wanted my children to be, but you're controlling your child.
Oh, our guest earlier, like before reset, literally said about stop controlling kids, but I want to control my kids. I'm like, which is it?
Right, you're contradicting yourself, and and like it's been a really hard time for me as far as like growing up in my life, and I've been on testosterone for January. It'll be 7 years, so like it's been a hard time for like my family, but through constant effort on both sides and allowing me to be who I am and loving me for who I am and was before I transitioned. I'm still the same person. I'm just living my authentic self, you know, and like constant effort on both sides. We love each other and we're here for each other, and my family has adapted and overcame and loves me for who I am, right? So
may I ask you a question? I think you just kind of answered, but may I ask a question?
Sure.
Was there a specific moment or a specific thing that made your parents and your family finally really accept you? Was there something that clicked, or is it something that's happened over time?
So like I came out as like a lesbian when I was about 18, 19 years old. And, you know, and that was a little hard. It was easy for them to accept. And when I told them, I didn't really tell them I was trans at first. I just was like, I started transitioning, and then I was like, well, this is who I am. And they were like, what the heck? And they thought that it was just a phase. And by me continuing to live my authentic self, they realized like, hey, this is who you are, and I'm going to love you for that.
I love that.
But my dad, it was really hard for my dad for some reason, you know, and he was just like, I will always call you by your dead name and you will always be my little girl. And I'm just like, well, we're not going to be, we don't have conversations anymore unless it's, you know, he says something first.
Oh, yeah, that's rough.
Wow.
Yeah. Because and fun fact, I was actually supposed to be born a boy. My baby room was painted blue and everything. They were expecting a boy. So it was really funny how it just kind of
look how that turned out.
Right, exactly. I'm like, I am who I was actually supposed to be to begin with. So but it's been a long journey, and you know, and I live in a state now where they're very how do you say it? Like, it's very controversial with it, but I have found like my doctors and my safe spaces for sure. But it's just really funny to me sometimes when people are like, it's my body, my choice. But when I'm choosing to be me and authentically me, they have a problem with it, you know, and it's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird to me that so much of like society are so tied into other people's gender identities. It's very strange.
Yeah, and it's like, why does it matter? Is it affecting you? Am I like putting a disease on you when you look at me? Or like, am I, you know, this virus? Or like, are you affected in any way other than you don't like what you see? And honestly, you have no clue who I like, what's going on inside of me, because from on the outside, I pass, you know, you don't know my story at all unless I tell you. And that's the thing. And people just don't realize like who they're around. And, you know, and I've told many people several times, you know, we'll just have conversations and they'll start talking about, you know, transgendered or the LGBTQ. And I'm just like, hey, I just want to take a brief second just to remember your audience, just to be aware of your audience, and people aren't aware of it. I mean, your opinion is your opinion, right? But it's like assholes. Everybody has one. And, you know, but like, it only starts to affect you, and you only see what you want to see. And, you know, and if you don't choose to just have an open mind and be on a level of understanding with people, like, nobody's going to really get anywhere. I don't have to accept what you believe, and you don't have to accept what I believe or who I am. But if we're on a level of understanding, then we can get so much further in life as far as like understanding where I'm coming from and understanding where you're coming from, and we just keep moving. And, you know, and we love each other, and we love our children, and we just love people, you know, and just for who they are, and no, nothing further than that, you know. Like, I don't know, I don't get it. And especially like parents not loving their children just for who they are. And
yeah.
Parents get so wrapped up in kids' gender identities too. It's strange. Oh my god, it's so loud here.
Yeah, they do, and it's just really weird. You know, if the kid's trying to figure out who they are, let them wear the dress, or let them play with the Barbie dolls, or let them, you know, do those things, because then they're able to find who they really are and who they're meant to be. And you know, and if you don't want them to have these types of surgical things or these things until they're older, that, I mean, to me, that's fine and that's okay. You're the parent, but let them be who they are during that time until you feel that you know, they're ready, or you feel that, you know, until they're 18 when they can make their own decisions, if that's what you feel. But
do you think that it is a parent's job though to educate themselves on what they're making decisions on?
Exactly. I totally agree. You know, like, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I'm a little nervous about talking about stuff like that.
You're totally fine.
But I definitely agree on that. The research, you know, it's kind of, don't hate me, but it's like when you get a brand new puppy, in a sense, you know, and you know nothing about the breed or about what's going on with it or how to teach it or what its purpose and working effort is to help it live its life authentically. You know, you need to do the research and do the looking up of how to take care of the dog. And, you know, and like, I know that a dog and a human are completely different, but the concept of doing the research of I have someone who is different than I, and their needs are different, you know, and like learning those things.
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy actually, because there are, you know, pet owners who won't do that, right? They'll just wing it, and a lot of times when they do cause the animal harm because they don't know what they're doing,
right? Or
not getting the proper vet care or whatever it is. And they can do the same thing with children. Even though like because you're not educating yourselves, you could be causing them harm unintentionally.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, and that was the thing, like my mom, when she saw me with my beard for the first time, here, I'll turn on my camera just because it is, you know, we are. Like when my mom saw my beard for the first time, she asked me, she was like, she looked at me, she just kind of stopped and stared at me for a minute and said, I need you to take that thing off your face. And I looked at her and I was like, well, and she wasn't doing it in a malicious way. And cause she's not a huge beard person. And I said, Mom, I'm not going to take it off. I'm not going to shave my face. I said, I've worked diligently for 6 years, 4 years to grow my beard and to, you know, I've baby my beard. I brush my beard every day, every night. I have 24 things of beard oil, you know, like,
oh, you're a professional. Okay.
I baby my beard because my beard, if I don't have my beard, then I feel so dysphoric, you know, and like, thank you for the finger hearts. I appreciate it. And like, I feel so out of place and like, you know, I'm at a point now in my life where I'm trying to decide if I need to shave my head or not because I'm losing my hair, you know, like there's just a lot of things and my mom didn't realize. And when I saw my mom in November for the first time in 5 years, I hadn't seen her face to face for 5 years, just because part of me was afraid to see her and how she was actually going to genuinely react. I spent time with her. I was there for 13 days, and my mom, for the first time, she saw me just living my life and me being me. She put, at one point we were talking and we went to dinner, and she reached out and she put her hand on my face and she said, Wes, well, she called me my dead name because she struggles with that, and I know that she does, and she goes, I love you, I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of who you are and you living your life and just being you. And she just kind of like, you know, she like loved my face and like held my face and that kind of thing. And it meant so much, and I didn't realize how much she like impacted me, and her just saying, you know, those words after 5 years, you know, and like and people just don't realize how important like their parents' words are to them, regardless of being trans or being gay or being lesbian or whatever it is. And, you know, parents sometimes have a little bit better of a time with being gay or a lesbian versus them changing their gender completely. And, you know, and it's just, it's crazy. And thank you for the finger hearts. I appreciate it. And 5 years of your mom not like of just having such a detachment for 5 years from my mom. And it was just that moment when my mom just kind of, she reached out on her own, and she hugged me, and she touched my face and told me that she was proud of me. Like it meant everything to me. And just those words of I'm proud of you, or hey, you're doing a good job, or I love you, and no matter what, because of what you're dealing with internally, as far as transitioning and trying to figure that all out, you know, I had to do all of that by myself. Thank you for the finger hearts. Oh my gosh, you guys. You know,
I mean, parents don't recognize the impact that they can have on their children, and the negative, right? The negative impact they can have for just not taking your time to educate yourself, have an understanding of how your child feels, and how you just loving them can be such a huge.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, children don't want to get to a point where they feel the need to cut their parents off. Like that's not like a goal that children have.
I cut my mom off for probably 5 years because I was afraid of what my mom was going to say. And, you know, and when I didn't have my beard and I was just beginning to transition, my mom, you know, it was still hard. It was very hard for her to say he. And it still is from time to time, you know, but like for Christmas, she got me this keychain that said, you know, my son, like something about my son, and I love you. And, you know, and she tells people, because I'm thinking about moving back home, you know, that, you know, my son's looking for a place to live. He works here and he works there. And, you know, and just hearing my mom talk, that she talks to other people, it's amazing. And just the transition she's made, you know, and my best friend lives there, and my best friend is like my mom's daughter, and she has worked diligently with my mom as well, and I'm very much blessed because of that. And my sister, you know, and she's like, that's my brother, that's this, you know, and like to my mom. And so if it wasn't for the two of them, I probably wouldn't have the relationship I have now with my mom that I did. But I was going to show you guys, like, see, these are all my beard oils that I have.
Oh my, what?
Wow.
That's more than I have hair dye, and that's saying something.
Yeah, and I have, you know, like I have a trimmer, I have everything. So like it's just a part of me. And for the longest time, till about 6 months ago, I never let anyone touch my beard. And I finally was like, I feel comfortable with this barber. She's great. And she goes, are we doing anything with the beard today? And I was just like, she was like, we don't have to. And I said, you know what? Do it. Go ahead. And like, she trimmed it. It's been a while now, but it looks like crap. I haven't brushed it today. But like, she trimmed it. She did this little thing here on the side. And like, as soon as I got it cut, my friends, I didn't say anything, and they were just like, your beard looks amazing. And I was like, thanks, you know? And so like, I finally got to where I let people do my beard and stuff like that. And so like, because it's a big thing. And like, I just feel like some people just don't realize how like little things can make such a huge difference. And, you know, and like, I'm able to, I usually curl my mustache too. I can curl up my mustache. Thank you for the heart puffs. You know, I can curl my mustache up, and like my barber actually gave me like the death grip. I don't know if you know the guy that has that huge mustache on TikTok. Death Grip, but like he uses that same stuff, and she gave it to me, and it was just like, I was like, this looks like the Death Grip stuff, and she was like, my husband's also sponsored by the same person that he is, and I was like, what? So like it's just little things, just little comments, and like, because people don't know the internal struggle. And I mean, Mel, I'm sure you don't realize the struggle internally like that your child has, right? Like sometimes just with even trying to say words sometimes, as far as like, hey, I feel this way, or hey, this is what's going on with me, and wanting to share it because of the backlash that can happen and the detriment that can just comes onto you. And, you know, and like talking to a doctor, you know, and like, I just went last week to talk about my hysterectomy. And that was the most detrimental thing that could have ever happened to me at that moment in time. And like, I was shaking like my hands, and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I was just out in the office and all these pregnant women and all these people, like, and I'm the only guy sitting out there, and like, it's hard. And I just coming out, like, you know, and just those decisions, making those decisions and trying to be that way. And and I couldn't imagine being a child. Like, I was 28, I think, 28 when I came out as trans. I couldn't imagine a child that feels what I felt, and not being able to, and having someone who is a superior to talk to, and not feeling safe being able to talk about it. And that's it's sad. And because like, it makes me sick sometimes, this, I'm not able to talk about things, and I'm like, why can't I not talk about it? You know, and like, and not having my parent to talk to, and being little, that's rough. But I just wanted to, you know, talk for a minute. I didn't want to.
Wes, I appreciate that. Oh, God damn it, vacuum. How loud is it? Is it loud?
No, I don't think it's loud.
All right. So I just wanted to say, like, that's the thing. Like, and when I talk on this app, when I try to speak to parents, you know, that's really the ultimate goal, is trying to get parents to understand, you know, and to accept their kids, even if they don't have trans kids, like to prepare themselves in case they do, those types of things. But, you know, again, it's about taking the time to educate yourself, to learn what being trans is, what the healthcare can look like, what they can need from you, how these little things, these little affirmation things can make such a huge difference. Yeah. And I just wanted to say, like, I'm not perfect, right? I try not to claim to be perfect. A lot of people in the comments, you guys think I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. But when it comes to, you know, my daughter, like, initially she had a hard time talking to me about things, even though I was really supportive. Now we're at the point that I go to therapy with her. Like, and I always, every single therapy appointment, I'm always like, do you want me to stay out here? And she's always like, no, you can come in. Where she'll talk about anything she's dealing with in front of me, which is a huge, I
love that.
A huge point, because she wasn't there. She wasn't there a year ago. She wasn't there 6 months ago. And then I've really had to take the time to understand what the type of impact can have on her. How, if I don't judge the things that she does, the decisions that she makes, can make her feel comfortable talking to me. Because even though you don't necessarily love the things that sometimes your kids do, or you don't, because a lot of times it's because you're worrying, right, about like the choices that they make or the things that they struggle with. But if you just take the time to listen to them, and just not judge them, the more comfortable they become with you, the better they will be as humans, right? Because they're going to start to figure out that they don't have to, there's nothing wrong with them. They don't have to hide things about themselves. Where that is a huge struggle for trans people in this society, just as a whole, just feeling like you're constantly being judged, that you can't fit in, that no one's going to accept you for the way you are.
I've lived here I've lived in this state for 3 years, and I am just now. Last week was the first time I ever hung out with somebody outside of work that I just met, and that alone, because I'm so scared they're gonna find out who I am, and then it's gonna be like I'm gonna try to find you and do things that are not nice, you know.
You're
like
literally the same person, right? Like they like you before they know this one thing about you, but they can flip like that.
And then you always get the question of, well, have you surgery? And I'm like, first of all, I was like, I'm like, hold on a second. I was like, do you talk to other people like this? I was like, do you approach women like this?
No, they don't. They don't talk to other people.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean, though?
If women just went up to each other and be like, you got an innie, you got an outie? Like, what's the situation? Like, what? Like, who the fuck? Well, I don't know.
Did you get lip reductions? Like,
ask about people, what's in their pants? Yeah.
Did you get a boob job? Like, you have really large breasts. Did you get a boob job?
Typically, no.
You know, and the thing about it is, you know what's funny? The thing about it is that it's men. It's men that come up to me and ask me the most. And I'm like, hold on. I know that we're friends. I get it. I said, but what is between my legs does not matter to you. The only person that it matters to is between me and my partner. That is it. I said, yeah. So you don't have to know. Like, and he's like, well, and then they kind of get that. Well, I'm just curious. And I was like, you can be curious all you want to. I said, but I've been very open about everything else that you have had to ask me. I said, but that does not matter. That has nothing to, that doesn't matter. If that concerns you so much between if we're going to be friends or not, then we don't need to be friends.
Exactly. It's such a strange thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what, like girls, like women don't ask me that question. Even the girl that I'm talking to.
That's interesting.
She doesn't care. She's like, I see you for you and for who you are. And that's all that matters. You know, and I'm like, sweet. And it's just so weird that guys want to ask the question the most. I'm like, what does it matter? I said, quite frankly, if you really want to know, it's under my bed and it's about 10 inches long. I said, if you're really you're talking inches per inches. Like, you know, and I can actually have it whatever size you want it to be. So it sucks for you. You know,
that's a little excessive.
The way I had to sit across my floor. My God.
That's a little excessive.
You got a born bitch from snacking. No.
But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, I just pull out jokes like that all the time, you know, or whatever. Because I'm just like.
It's the same thing about, like, even asking, like, if someone shaves or, like, there's just, sure, you can be curious, but don't ask these fucking questions. You're just going to have
let
to
your
think about
intrusive
it.
thoughts win. Like, don't let your intrusive thoughts win ever. Like,
exactly.
Because my whole thing is the more that my friends know about me, the more I'm protected, and the more that they're aware. Right, in that sense, because if I'm open and honest about who I am, like, I don't necessarily expect you to be open and honest about who you are, but you have those questions. I appreciate that. I try to be, but you know, and it allows me to educate them, and I mean, and ultimately that's what you're doing, right, for your child and for other children and for other parents, because you're going through this stuff like that, what my mom went through, you know, like, but my mom went through it at me being 28 years old versus, you know, there's a child that you have to still make those decisions for them, but making the correct decisions and doing your research and going through your emotions with it too, because I'm sure you had a hard time at first, you know.
The hardest thing for me, and I've talked about it, is society, right? But luckily, I don't even know why, I never got tied up into gender. I didn't even find out, like, I didn't even have gender, like, or sex, I guess, reveal, like, ultrasounds. Like, I waited until my kids were born. I never got really tied up into gender, so that part for me wasn't difficult. For me, it was more about just
and people use this reason a lot when they say they don't want to accept trans kids.
Oh, I think she answered the phone.
Yeah, she probably got a call. That's all right.
Yes, it was my husband from the other room. I'm like, come on, dude.
Mr.
He knows I'm live. Like,
I'm on a spiel right now. You're interrupting.
I don't even know what I was saying, but no.
That you weren't tied into your kid's gender.
Oh yeah, I wasn't. So I think that was a little easier for me. And a lot of people do get like scared to affirm their kids because of society and because of bullying and stuff. But the thing is, you can't prevent your kid from being who they are. So you need to learn how to support them, and you need to learn how to like just help give your children tools, give yourself tools, whether that's with therapy, whatever it is, to learn how to navigate the society, because the society's here. Right? So trying to prevent the child from being who they are is the wrong move. Like that makes you become the bully. And so instead of you protecting your kid from outside bullies, you are the one that they are now scared of, right? Because you're the one not affirming.
You're either going to continue to be their parent or you're not going to be. They're going to either let you continue to be in their life or you're not going to be in their life any longer. If you can't accept.
Exactly. And like I said, is children are not set up like initially. Children are ready, like the way that things work, right, is that children want to please their parents. Children want their parents to be proud. They don't want to get to a point where they feel like they need to cut their parents off. They will try hard to get their parents to validate them and to just work with them. So it's you as the parent, like, why do you want to put that on your kid?
I don't know. I think my son's in the process again. I'm trying to cut off his dad.
Well, cause see, like my mom, and like my mom she was, cause it even came down to the point to where like I wanted to adopt children, and then I didn't want to physically have children, like when I was younger, and I would put my mom in tears, and she's like, "Why would you want to do that?" You know, and I'm like, I want to adopt special needs children. She's like, "Why do you want to make your life harder than what it is already?" And like that was always my mom's mindset. It's like, I don't want your life to be any harder than what it is. And I said, Mom, I know in my heart that I can love that child 10 times more than what their parent that gave them away would ever even think about doing. And I don't care about what other people have to say. And, you know, and it was in those moments of my mom, it's just like, you know, she didn't want my life to be harder than what it was. And so like, I ultimately think that that's what my mom was so afraid of. Like when I came out as trans, is that my life is going to be harder. And so,
because if you could just accept yourself as a woman, your life will be easier, right? So why don't you just do that?
But would it be though?
No,
because
it's not. But that's the outside. That's the cisgender perspective, right?
Well, and I was gonna say, I'm like, because women have it really hard too. Like, and you know, and like I got this when I was 19, and everyone always asks me, they're like, "Are you going to get rid of it?" I said, "No, that's part of me." I said, "I will always be a supporter of women, no matter what." You know, and like, because they need the support the most too. But that's a whole nother topic. But you know, like, I'm like, would it have been easier, or like, would I continue to struggle and just like have this dysphoria and uncomfortableness, and you know, and if it wasn't for drag
internally, no, maybe. Well, no. I was going to say maybe you wouldn't be treated better by society either. Being a woman is tough. It's easier.
Well, like I
as a man.
I started drag when I was 18, and my drag name was actually Wes, and so it was such a part of me. It became like I was doing drag so much, people were starting to call me Wes on the street because that's how they knew me. They didn't know my name, and I liked it. I didn't correct them. I was just like, I feel so confident when I'm on the stage, and I am binded, and I am, you know, I have facial hair, and I have this presentation, you know, and like, it became such a part of me. And that's just when my grandfather passed away 6 years ago. I realized that was, I had to do some soul searching and like find me. And Wes was such a part of me that I named myself, I named myself Wes. It's actually Weston, but and like, and I found myself through drag, and it was really cool. And but I don't know. And my mom used to come to my shows all the time and stuff. And so like, I knew deep down inside my mom loved me. It's just, I think it's the society, is what had such a huge impact on people in general. And like, well, what's everyone gonna think if my child is this? I can't have my child be like this.
Exactly.
This is what they're gonna think about me. And like have this representation, have to represent at this level, and I have to do this and do that and blah blah blah. It's like, who cares? My
parents are judged. They're so judged though by their children, like that. Right. Their children are, this whole idea that like your children are like part of you, they're a reflection of you.
Your extension.
It's just an extension. Yeah. Those are just problematic things again, because you have to recognize that children are still separate people. They have their own thoughts and feelings.
Right.
Your influence on them is not necessarily going to have any type of impact, right? Like you can teach your children like good values or whatever you consider good values, right? But they're going to be who they are. They're not.
Yeah, the better thing would be to fix society, not to try to look at like, I need to fix my kid because I'm worried about what people are going to think.
Mm-hmm.
That's so problematic.
I'm worried about what people are going to think of me. Like we need to stop looking at us as parents as like what people think of us, and focus more on like what people think of your children and how you can support your children in that. Not worrying about yourself and like what type of. That's where it comes down to like validating trans people as a whole when it comes to even parents or just society. Like, what are people going to think of me if I validate someone? What are people going to think of me if I actually use the proper pronouns? Right? They're worried about themselves, not about how that other person feels.
Right.
Stop being so selfish.
And like I was talking to this person, a new person, and she would talk to her daughter, and the way she presented to her daughter, like, if you see someone who is different, if you see something that you're not used to, it's out of normal, just look at me. Don't say anything, just look at me. And I know that you have questions, and we can talk about it, and like, I thought that it was such a cool way of allowing your child to be inquisitive of something without being like, what's that? Who's that? Why are they like this and why are they like that? Like allowing you to like open up and being like, hey, I know that is different and it's okay for you to feel that way. But like, if we keep our children so sheltered about stuff, then it's like they're gonna, I don't know. They're gonna question, and like if you can't answer the questions for your children, then they're gonna find out somewhere else. And
that's why Mel also talks a lot about advocating in school, because look at how many parents really aren't able to answer questions about trans people. Like they don't know. They have no idea. So that's another thing that's difficult. It's like if we had this education in school and kids get taught young, then we wouldn't have to worry about that.
Because like they don't necessarily have to go in 100% in depth with trans. It's just they have to, it's just like, hey, these types of people exist. And like, or it's just the same as like another ethnicity almost, in a sense. You could put it in with that in a way of just like humans. They're just a different form of person. It's okay. But then I feel like they're afraid that it's gonna push. Go ahead.
I was just agreeing. You're good.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like they think that it would push people, there would become more transgendered people because it would allow them to recognize them more so. And I think that that's what scares people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes to
either they think, either they think that, that somehow being trans, like once you know about it, somehow it's like contagious, or like kids are going to get it through osmosis, like being around trans people, all of a sudden they're going to turn trans, which doesn't happen. I mean, the likely cases, maybe you have somebody who is struggling and they don't know what kind of words to put to it, and they don't know what it means. And then they hear somebody explain it and they're like, oh my gosh, that's what I've been thinking and feeling. That's it. And they can identify it. But that doesn't mean the education made them trans. It's just you were able to let them identify it at a younger age, which there's nothing wrong with that. We should all understand ourselves. We should all be able to explore everything. That's just weird that we want to put kids in boxes. I don't know.
Right, but they want you to explore sex education and like all of these things like that. And how is that not any different than allowing your child to express themselves? Like, I mean, they used to hand out condoms, for crying out loud, and being like, here, be safe. But you're pushing that it's okay for that to happen if you're giving them that, you know. And that's my own thought. But it's the same sense of, if you show them that there are trans people, like, who's to say that they don't? They just see it as, oh, this exists. And, you know, instead of
hurting,
what makes, I don't know. It's like the opposite almost in a sense. You know, they're afraid that through osmosis, versus when we sit and talk about sex education, we're wanting you to be protected, but you're encouraging it. You know, like it's the opposite thing that they're thinking as far as introducing that in schools or showing it to people.
In some aspects, sure, but some parents also think the same way, right? Like if you educate your child about safe sex, that means they're going to have it. But if you don't teach them about it at all, they're not going to have sex. Like, no, that's not how it works. You can't keep it away from them.
Exactly. You can't. The world is the world. Like they're going to find out one way or another about it somehow. And personally, I'd rather my child find out from me than from other 12-year-old little brats.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what I mean? Like,
proper information. I'd rather have my kids get correct, factual information versus not. And I know that's really loud, sorry.
And like, even if I don't feel that it, even if I don't know that it for 100% is correct, coming from me versus coming from a complete stranger is more important to me. You know, like, hey, I feel that this is true. If it's not, we can figure it out. But like, just finding out from another stranger and then my child being like, well, so I found out about this. Wait, hold on a second. Wait, what?
From talking to complete strangers on the internet that have no idea what they're talking about, yeah, I agree with that.
That's not where you want to get your education. People in here say the dumbest shit. They don't know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I fell down the whole reading the comments. I'm sorry, I was listening to the story and also reading the comments, and let me tell you, ooh.
I know. They're bad.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
It's something for sure. And then they're like, they're the devil and they're the this. And I'm like, you know, it's almost like back in time when things were separated, if we understand what I'm saying. It's like that's how they're trying to be with like, trans people, in a sense. You know, like they're just like, oh, they're different. We don't like it, so we're gonna, and you can't touch nothing, or we're gonna get it too. And, you know, like, and I'm just like,
it comes down to lack of education, and then like a fear behind that, like fear of something they don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So then they reject
just
it.
Bigotry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
Skibby toilet risk.
But because of people that have taken risks,
we
have allowed the world to be what it is. And to be different, you know what I mean? Like, the world wouldn't be what it is today with, like, space. if someone didn't take a risk and fly to the moon, you know, or it wouldn't be what it is today if someone didn't say, hey, I'm going to stay right here and stand my ground to give you the rights that you have today. Or, you know, hey, we're going to fight for this. And now I'm able to be a president if I want to, regardless of my gender or my race, you know, or, you know, like those types of things. Like we're able to do those if people didn't take those risks, you know, and be different.
Oh, poor Wes. You don't even know how the people are in here. They don't believe that we even went to the moon. So, yeah.
Oh, they think that it was staged.
It was staged.
Yeah,
Earth's
it's
flat,
funny.
Birds aren't real.
Yeah, or when we start talking to people and they start really going down the conspiracy theory like pipeline, then we're like, okay, wait a minute, what shape is the Earth? And that's always a fun one to go into. And then it's like, okay, never mind. We can't even discuss this. Yeah, a lot of flat earthers.
Yeah,
there's a lot of flat earthers.
We're not going to get you to understand gender. I can't even believe that. So
I need this tattooed on me. You believe someone went to the moon, but not the Bible. Yes, snakes don't talk. Okay, thank you.
All right, awesome. Wes, I have an hour left. I'm going to see if we can get anybody that disagrees, but I appreciate you, appreciate your story. Thanks for coming up.
For sure. Definitely, guys.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Have a great day.
Thank you, Gorgeous.
Sure. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, he was very sweet.
And I've got another hour and 15 minutes my lunch.
All right,
that donut was good.
I'll tell you right now. I was wondering if this one's going to come up. Hi, Irish. How are you? You had so much to say. What's your age, please, Irish?
I'm 44 years of age.
Fantastic. So you had a lot to say.
That's
Where did
brilliant.
you start?
Now, you see, back in my day, we were growing up in school, there was none of this thrown into our faces growing up. So
Yeah,
my
I'm
point
50,
is,
so I'm
you don't
sorry,
have to get,
I'm
no, you
sorry,
don't have to
we're
get me that right. Listen,
I'm
you don't have to
sorry,
get me that right. You don't have to get me that freedom. You can go where you want, do what you want, and you're
I'm
pushing
sorry,
it.
I lost
When
you
you go
there.
after the kid, it's going to come down on you tenfold.
Okay, so anyhow, you're fun. Remember that part you said you'd be respectful in the comments? I took a screenshot because I knew you wouldn't be. You're just steamrolling. Blah, 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 blah. I am 41. This didn't happen. I'm 50. This has happened since long before I was born. I don't know what you're going on about. You good? Are you good? If you want to do the respectful thing that you said you were going to do, which we knew you weren't, let us know. But if
No,
not,
I 100% respect who you are. I don't want to harm you. I don't want to do any. I don't want to bring anything onto you that will harm you anyway. Live your life. Be the person who you want to be. But just don't be going in indoctrinating children. Like, you could tell a child that
okay, so anyhow, we're going to have fun with that. We're not indoctrinating kids. We're not the church. So that's cute. No one's being indoctrinated.
Yeah, it's for consent. We all know what it is. There's groomers in this world that want that consent brought down so they can do.
Yeah, I don't consent to you right now, so I'm good. Are you good there? Okay.
You see, when the truth is being spoken, you don't want to hear it.
Oh, no, we've seen a
Because
lot
you're
you had
just
to say.
talking nonsense,
Yeah,
Irish.
you're just like rambling. How many pints have you had today?
Sorry? Now, you see, now here we go. Now, you're throwing things back at me now. So you're the rude one, not me. I'm actually just speaking to you.
No, I said, how many pints did you have so far today?
Me, I don't drink.
This is all you. That's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I don't drink. I'm a father of my own, raising me 2 kids alone. So I don't believe that my kids should be having this forced on them in schools. It wasn't forced on us when we were younger.
Like education, forced education, like what public school is. You know, we force kids to learn stuff
They're bringing
they
a book in,
right?
they're bringing a book into kids talking about scatting now. Come on, I didn't even know what that was when that book came out.
What is?
I didn't hear what you said.
What are you talking about?
Got eating poo, basically. That's what it is.
Okay,
and that's what's in this book.
We're not doing that. I'm sorry. That's a hard pass for me. No, thank you. No, thank you, Irish.
Okay, I think I'm happy I didn't understand what he said.
Yep, unfortunately, I knew the accent, and I'm like, that was something he asked.
I did my nails the other day. I'll tell you later how I picked the color.
I need to like
Big Mac, you're not usually respectful. I've seen you in many other lives.
I did the trans flag.
Yay, trans flag.
Looks good.
I'm going to come with you polishing your nails, then scroll away, lamb chop. Oh, good times. Good times.
I'm uncomfortable with you polishing your nails. Okay. Okay.
Hello?
Hey, how are you doing?
All right. How old are you?
I'm 27.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
So, I'm a cis male. I'm just trying to understand, and have a reasonable discussion about kids being trans. Is there an age limit?
An age limit? Depends what you're talking about. A kid has to be able to communicate to you.
Yeah, for self-identification purposes, how should parents start engaging with that if it comes up?
Well, I mean, if a kid can communicate with you and they can tell you at 3, 4, 5, 6 years old what their gender is and it's not what you thought, you should probably engage in a conversation with them. I mean, it could be as simple as the first time they tell you, you're off the app. I mean, it could be as easy as just, okay, sure. The first time they tell you something, but if they're very insistent and tell you this more than once, you probably should have a conversation with your kid. 3 years old, goodbye. Yeah, Aubrey, it has happened. Kids at 3 years old have been able to communicate that. Have you ever talked to a 3-year-old, Aubrey? My niece is 3 years old. She can write and she can read. So
it's amazing to me how many people can talk to kids. It's really strange.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have 2 kids of my own, right? So are you saying just because it's a societal construct talking about gender, it should be,
expression
I should kind of go with it?
I mean, when it comes to gender expression, sure, why not? You should just go with it. If a kid wants to wear something, they want to do their hair a certain way, there's no harm in that. And I would say, yeah, sure, go along with however they want to express themselves. Now, if they're telling you that their gender identity is different than what you thought, like I said, if a kid comes up and tells you something like that once, are we immediately going to be oh my gosh, this kid's trans? No. They may have just said this. Now, when you have a kid who's expressing to you in many different ways or saying the same thing over and over again, and they're being very persistent about it, then you would look further into that and you would talk to them about it. Maybe talk to a pediatrician.
So what kind of signs would that entail? Could you give me some examples on what a 3 to 6 year old would say?
I mean, it's different for every kid. Some kids won't say anything. They won't have the language. They won't have the knowledge. They won't be able to do any of that. Other kids might be able to tell you straight out. If you tell them that they're a boy, they're going to say, no, I'm a girl. You might have kids who say, well, when they're female and they say, well, when I grow up and I'm a man, I'm going to do this and this and this. You've realized their self-concept is that they think they're a boy. So if that's their self-image, you're going to want to talk to them about these kind of things. So it's different for every kid.
Exactly. So my son, I just recently had a newborn. He's 4 years old. When my wife was pregnant, he said he wanted to have a baby like mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a sign? And you're
obviously not. No.
He doesn't understand how reproduction works yet.
I don't know. I just kind of disagree with that, because at some point as a parent, you have to keep your kids in check with reality, right? That's your responsibility as the older adult, is to keep your kids in check with
reality. Some kids are trans.
I think if your kid probably comes out and says that they want to be a girl or they are a girl, you probably did something wrong as a parent, or there's some
those can be very different things. I love that you pretended to be genuine, Mike. So
I am being genuine. What are you talking about?
We did something wrong as parents. It's funny. What do you? No, wait. So what do you think we did wrong?
I feel like you didn't lead your kid down the right path.
What does that mean exactly? What did we do?
Yeah. So if my son once says, I want to be a girl, no, he's a boy.
Okay. Neither one of our kids said they wanted to be anything. So next.
Well, kids want to be a lot of things, and that's what I just brought up.
Didn't say anything about wanting to be something.
If somebody wants to be a girl and repeats that over multiple times, do you not believe that's a type of dysphoria?
They don't say they want to be. And so wait, if someone does have gender dysphoria, should they be treated for gender dysphoria?
I'm not licensed to discuss about gender affirming care. So
That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to be licensed but should they have access to gender affirming care then?
No.
Okay, so you don't care about getting professional health care then, right?
No, I don't believe that should fall under. Yeah, I believe they should go see a therapist.
That's gender affirming care.
You see the therapist, you go to the therapist, right? Your kid goes to therapy for a couple of years. Your kid gets a diagnosis of gender dysphoria. The therapist recommends that the kid go see an endocrinologist because they are suffering. And at that point, you say, after all this time that you've put into trust with the therapist, now you're going to say the therapist is wrong and that you should not go see a doctor. You should not see a specialist.
So it's my personal belief that the American, especially the American healthcare system, kind of just tells people what they want to hear to get them more.
Can you answer the actual question?
That's what I just answered, sir.
How's you're saying the American healthcare system? You're going to ignore the American healthcare system? So do you not go to the doctor whenever you have a sickness or an injury?
Not really. Usually everything.
So you don't take your 4-year-old. You don't take your 4-year-old to the pediatrician for yearly checkups and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, he goes for yearly checkups and vaccination.
Okay, and so if the doctor said that your child is having a medical issue, hey, we think your kid has diabetes. Hey, your kid may have a mass that we need to look into. We need to see what this is. Are you going to say, you know what? I don't trust the medical system. No, thanks.
Yes, and I believe that's every parent's right. There's a lot of people that don't want to do prescription medication and would rather take a more herbal method.
Child, though.
Then why do you go to the doctor every year if you don't believe in their education and system? Why do you even go?
Because some people may have a different preference. Like I said, they might not want to go the traditional route of prescription medication. They want to take a more herbal route. I believe that's a right that people can have. Like, you don't have to be prescribed anything.
But why do you go to the doctor at all? And why do you take your kids to the doctor if you're not going to even listen to the professionals?
Would I believe a doctor if I took my son to the doctor and he said, your son's a girl?
That's not the doctor's going to tell you.
That's not what they say.
They wouldn't tell you that at all.
Yeah.
A doctor or a therapist, none of them are going to tell you what your child's gender identity is, actually.
Exactly. So if my son goes to the doctor, right, like let's say I take him to like a pediatrician and he tells the doctor, but not me, I'm a girl.
Okay.
How is the doctor going to react to that? Because with him being underage, I'm going to be notified.
Not necessarily.
No.
No, because that actually could cause that child harm. So the doctor may not. The doctor may just validate the child in that aspect and not tell you, especially if it comes to a therapist.
Well, I think therapy is different, but I'm pretty sure like pediatricians,
it's none of your
children under
business.
the age of 14,
If your child is
have
not
access to that information.
If your child is not comfortable enough to tell you this on their own, there's probably a reason why.
Well, yeah, because I don't feed into the fallacy of a false reality.
Yeah, maybe you failed as a parent. Maybe you failed as a parent. Maybe we're not the failures.
Sherry, that's
maybe
you
you're failing
failing
as a parent.
So, like, if my kid
Because you know what? What's funny, Big Ike? Our kids talk to us. Our kids know no matter what they say to us, no matter what they come to us with, they're going to be supported unconditionally, no matter what. I seriously doubt your kid's going to feel that way from just the shit that you've been saying already. That to me is a failure as a parent.
Yeah.
So you believe if my son repeatedly tells me that he's a dinosaur, I should be like, yeah, you're a dinosaur.
Is a dinosaur, Big Mike, is it, or whatever your name is a dinosaur a gender identity?
It could be.
No, we know it's not.
It's not.
I mean,
we know that humans
out in the
That's
world.
not a gender identity. So you're going to be
know
this conversation.
that humans cannot be dinosaurs. We know that. And
So
children
what makes
know
a human not a dinosaur?
that. Are you fucking serious?
Yes, what makes a human?
I don't care.
Yeah, I was just gonna
I don't give a single solitary fuck. I love that you also have the pride flag and the trans flag in your bio as if you care to support people for being exactly who they are. You're not just a bad parent, you're a horrible person. You're a horrible person and you cause harm to others. And I don't understand why someone would purposely do that and go out of their way to do so. It's just not okay.
And that is very common. Those are the type of people that tell Sherry and I that we are bad parents all the time. All the time. When they're not willing to have a conversation with their kids. They're not willing to validate their kids. They're not willing to understand their children's feelings. They're not looking at their children as separate human beings. That they may need medical care that doctors are recommending. None of us as human beings should be making up our minds about medical care before we're educated on it. And especially when it comes to when we're making decisions for someone else. If you want to make decisions and you're educated on it and you know you're going to harm yourself, like, I don't know, say smoking cigarettes or something, right? You know that that's harmful to yourself, but you want to make that decision for yourself, that's whatever, fine. But would you do that? Would you give your kids cigarettes and say, here you go? No, right? Because you should know that would harm your kid.
They might,
The opposite, they might. They might. But maybe, well, still, God, bitch, you threw me off.
Am I wrong?
You're not.
Am I wrong? I kind of feel like he gets Pall Mall unfiltered.
Oh
no.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still a thing? They still make this? I don't even know.
No.
I think so.
My analogy was terrible.
I don't know.
And you're not wrong. Educate yourselves before you make decisions on your children's health care.
I think it's the weirdest thing that people will take their kids to the pediatrician. They'll listen to the pediatrician when it comes to like any other thing. Like they could do blood work and they're like, you know what, something seems off. We need to check this. Your kid's got this kind of disorder. They've got this going on. They've got a digestive issue going on here. I hear a heart murmur. Let's do more testing. Let's do this and that. And they're like, okay, absolutely. Gender affirming care. Oh, all of a sudden we don't fucking trust doctors. They don't know what they're doing. It's this whole like big pharma agenda. But with nothing else. It's just gender affirming care. It's really suspicious, people.
As they scream out the words "big pharma" from the doctor's office, because that makes
yeah. And like at this point, like I don't give a shit. Like, you know, is big pharma making money? Of course they're making money. Of course they are. But like to my kid, like the medication he needs, he doesn't give a shit. It doesn't mean anything to him whatsoever. Like he just wants his medication. So, yeah, it's just dumb. Ooh, did Mr. Mel bring you nachos?
He brought me Chipotle.
Ooh, Chipotle.
Like, I'm like, dude, he gave me this giant bag of chips. Easy. I'm like, I don't even know what's in here. But
what pisses me off about Chipotle is they give you a huge bag of chips and like a thimble of salsa.
Oh, I know. They do. So anyway, bitch.
And just for anybody in the comments, because everyone's going to go insane, Mel can eat in her bathroom because her toilet's way the fuck over there in a different room. I just want to put the disclaimer out there.
Like, my bathroom just got cleaned. No one has even used the toilet since then.
Am I the only one who would eat, like...
Yeah, it's probably
Am I the only one who would eat nachos on the toilet? Is that just me?
I'm going to start, you know...
I mean, honestly, it saves time.
Do you know how many lives I used to do where I was sitting on the toilet and like live with you guys as I'm like sitting there and like eating and whatever, like
having your drink?
I don't know.
Like, it's not like we're putting it in the toilet. Like,
I know. Toilet nachos.
You're not dunking it.
Olivia,
It's not a what do you call it? Oh my god, it's not a fondue fountain.
Oh my god.
You better enjoy that bowl. And everyone lunch.
The most important thing too is before you flush, put your lid down on your toilet.
Yes.
Put the lid down and then flush.
That makes me angry when people don't do that.
I know.
Yeah.
You do that too.
Cedric,
oh God, no.
Yeah, please accept the request. I don't know, can we?
I used to have that elementary teacher where you go up and you'd be like, can I have a pencil? And they'd be like, I don't know, can you? And they make you be like, may I have a pencil?
Oh, I hated that.
I was also that bitch, 100%. I admit it.
And then every kid has to get up and like do the same thing within 5 minutes.
So annoying.
Hi, Jake.
Hi, I'm a 57-year-old dinosaur, and I have some things to say about that.
Nice.
So Jake,
I'm a baby dinosaur.
That was just Go ahead.
At what age did you know that you were a dinosaur?
Well, I mean, I came out of an egg at a very young age, and I noticed that I was green, and it just happened that way.
That wouldn't make you a dinosaur. That would make you Republican. It's different.
Ew. Stop it. Don't throw that on me. Jesus. But anyways, what I actually came here to say is, like, all this going on, it's not rocket science. You know, I remember being a kid. I was one at one time, you know, not a dinosaur. And the whole deal was, I knew who I was. I knew who I was going to be. And like, when I was raising my kids, I let them be who they wanted. I did not interfere in whatever they did. Because my son, my kids are adopted, by the way. I adopted both my children at a young age from drug addicts. And my son, like, very early, he liked to wear, you know, his sister's clothes, and I was cool. What am I going to say? No, I didn't want to make him feel like he was doing something that was wrong, because he wasn't. He's being a kid, and what he decides to be at that point is who he's going to be, and it could change a bunch of times throughout while he's growing up. So why insert some sort of harmful, you know, information to him that he does not need to have? Because the thing is this, they're just kids, and they're going to be kids, and some of them will be trans and some of them won't. And if they are trans, then love them with all your heart, respect them, and give them everything they need to feel right in this world. You know, same as if they were gay, anything, you know, it just does not matter. All that matters is their happiness, their safety, that they know they have a home base to come to where people are going to back them up with everything they have. That's all that matters. It's just everybody's fighting over this. Not you guys. You guys, I love what y'all say here. I've been listening. You know, the Bish. Am I saying that right? The Bish.
Yep, you got it.
I freaking love your humor, and I love your attitude. It's absolutely awesome. You know, the sis up here, I feel like there's an actual professor that has gone to school and knows, you know, graduated with all these, you know, these things, kumbaya, whatever you graduate with.
I told you, you sound like a teacher.
Totally. And the thing is that the people who are... Yeah. The people who are angry at this, you see they're trolling, they're saying all kinds of stuff. No. They're not angry at anything but their own fear. It's just their own fear that, you know, you're changing us, you're doing this, you're indoctrinating the kids. No one's indoctrinating the kids here. You are just allowing the kid to be himself or herself, or whatever they want to be. That's who they're going to be. You know, mind you, you know, you could take a wrong turn at like serial killer or something like that. But I mean, on serial unaliver, sorry. But the deal is that kids are going to be who they're going to be, and just fighting them is just going to make them hate you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jake. Kelly, Jake.
I had a hard time getting that out. You know? I was just so I was upset watching some of these people. I had to get it out. I love you guys.
It's rough. Thank you. Appreciate it, Jake.
You're welcome.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hi.
Hey everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Dora.
I wanted to yell at the previous guest. I feel like I feel like someone who normally watches and is super frustrated by a guest and then finally gets brought up and they're gone.
That's me anytime I can't join. I'm like, ah.
I'm a friendly too. It's just when you had no guests, I went in the box. I'm a trans woman as well. I guess if I was going to say anything to detractors to the community, it's like, first question I would ask is, why are you so superficial? We're telling you who we are to the core of our being, but you're just looking at the outside like nothing else matters. I mean, you look at a leaf on a tree, they're made up by cells, they're made up by atoms, they're made up by molecules. And you think there's nothing more complex to the brain than just what you see on the outside? That's ridiculous. And I would also say, speaking on the subject, I was a trans kid who was refused treatment as a child. I was a victim of DV because of it. I had my hand broken when I tried to tell my mother. Like literally beat with a meat mallet and broke several of my fingers, and I got 2 black eyes for it.
Oh my God.
Oh, but protect the kids.
Wow.
Now, if it was every trans kid desisted, why did it require violence to shut me up till I was 37? Why did it require violence? You know, and that's the question I'll ask. Why do you threaten? Not you all, obviously. I'm speaking to the foe. Why do you all threaten violence? Why do you all have to make, literally in the last 2 years, thousands of bills to try and create a tiny little safe space to not hurt your feelings? Our medical care has nothing to do with you, and you need to learn to love yourselves, because your fear is all that's guiding you. I think those of you who are parents of trans kids, who are actually supporting your trans kids, are absolutely wonderful. I've been listening to your lives, to your live, Mill, for a long time, like ever since I started on TikTok. Since before you even moved, since before the bill started.
Wow. So a long time, yeah.
And same with you, Adora. I've been listening to you for a long time too.
How you doing?
And I don't speak too much on trans issues unless I'm just in somebody else's live, because my content is more philosophy and spirituality based, because I feel like that's what I have to offer. But the core of my message is it begins with love and it ends with love, and everything in between is only meant to support that love. That's how we should all live. So, sorry, I'm cooking, so that was my timer.
You're fine.
I'm making some extra.
Why is there this weird pepper in here?
When y'all were talking about chipotle, I actually used a couple in my enchilada sauce that I'm making.
Oh, nice. Chipotle.
Nice. Enchiladas sound good too.
There is giant pepper in here. Anyway.
This is also not a very... this is not an unheard thing, but I was 4 years old when I realized I was not congruent in my gender identity. I laid at home and I cried one night. My 2 brothers and I shared a room, and I cried and cried and cried, praying to the point where my oldest brother woke up and started rubbing my back and asking me what was wrong. And I said, God, make me a girl, make me like being a boy, or take my life. And a 4-year-old asking for their life to be taken is a huge problem. I don't care who it is.
Yeah. And it's such a common experience too, because we talk about it all the time, right? Like, trans kids are very aware, even if they don't quite understand what's going on. That what you just explained is a very 4-year-old way of understanding, right? And having the understanding that people around you are already not viewing you that way.
Yeah.
They're already not viewing you as a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
You know that.
And puberty was hard. I mean, it was hard. There's many. Hear about so much about the self-unaliving attempt and completion rate. One thing I will say from my own experience, I've never attempted. I've considered, but I've never attempted. But I chose extremely dangerous jobs. So I essentially was attempting, but the slow way. I was in the military. I was a firefighter. You know, I worked as a bouncer for years. You know, kind of makes you wonder, you know, still trying to self-harm. Just because I didn't care about my life.
Yeah.
It was like I was a zombie looking in the mirror and seeing a stranger every day.
And not having any hope is just another way of just, like you said, you're not living as a zombie. Like, you're just not you. You're not allowed to be you. These are the things that we try to talk about often. So obviously you said you watch. So thank you for sharing your story. I need to get my dog because I dropped.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. I think
that's a super common experience.
I don't want to hog all your time. I guess the last thing I would remind people is that when they decide to go on about how they can always tell or talk about things that are common, things that, you know, make some of us less or more passable, clockable, whatever word we're going to use. Those are scars from an untreated medical condition. That's like someone who's had polio before polio vaccinations, who have permanent disability because of it. It's different, but it's similar. You know, they're scars of an untreated condition. And we don't have those scars when we get the treatment, when we actually say who we are and are believed. So, but anyway, I just wanted to leave y'all with that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, and
Thank you for what
making some like comparisons that may not be direct, like you said, just to try to get people to really understand the severity, because I think people just don't, right? When we talk about the self-unaliving ideation, when we talk about these things, like you said, are just putting yourself at risk because you don't care, or, you know, you don't see any hope for the future. So like, what's the point? Like these things are so common amongst trans people. And when we try to talk about them, people are like, no, it's not that extreme. Like, why are you comparing it to something like cancer? Why are you comparing it to something that is so, that can cause someone's life to end? Like, because it is one of those things.
Because it can. Yeah, because it can. Because you can have, I've had an 11-year-old who's self-medicating and abusing substances to try to cope of getting through 6th and 7th grade. Like, it's stuff that, it's unbelievable for people to say like, oh, it's not that bad, and just make them wait till they're 18. And then we use these examples and these analogies of other severe situations, because it is that severe. For a lot of kids, it is. So.
Yeah. And I guess maybe one other thing, because I've seen quite a few biblical references. The one thing I would say to anybody who follows the Bible is, if you're not following the words of Jesus, you know, it starts with love, and all of the commandments that Jesus said were actually good practice that most people already do. Things like not lying, not, you know, unaliving, not, you know, those sorts of things. Most of us do that by nature. He never said don't be trans. He never said don't be gay. He never said, you know, do this or that. And if you claim to be Christian and you're listening to Moses and Paul and all this stuff and claiming that that is the word of God, you're not actually following your own God. So anyway, I didn't want to preach, but this is kind of what my content is.
You're totally fine.
But also invite anybody to reach out if y'all ever want to bounce anything off me. Yeah. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bye.
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 And those of you, if you've been here as long as Blue Jay, that was Blue Jay, right? Is that the name?
Yeah, Blue Jay.
When I started this, again, I've talked about this a lot, but when I started this before the legislation became a reality, I did have a very different attitude. Right, because I was talking to my husband about this yesterday, actually, because I could actually, if a parent of a trans kid asked me advice, I could give them the advice. Reach out to your pediatrician, talk to, see if you can get a therapist, right? Like, do some research in your area. You might want to get your kid to an endocrinologist, you know, whatever. And now I have to be like, I start to give that advice and I have to be like, wait, what state are you in? Where do you live? Or like when they're asking, you know, how do I get my kid's school to validate my child? I have to say, what state are you in? Where do you live? That is a fucking problem.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to do that. Like when these people are asking for help, I forget to ask what state again.
Yeah, because we
should
just be able to give the advice on how to support your kids, period. It shouldn't matter what state.
I know. And in just a year or two, like everything has completely changed. This wasn't an issue a couple of years ago. It was like the bathrooms at schools, going into the pediatrician, going to the endocrinologist, puberty blockers, and like none of this was an issue. You went to your doctor and your doctor handled everything. And it's just gotten so out of hand where I can't even imagine. Sometimes when I sit down, I think about those families in all of those states who are like losing their care, or they're not, their kid just came out and told them, and then you're like, there's nothing you can tell them. Like there's no help. I don't even like to think about it. It's overwhelming.
I know. It's so sad. And we can just sit here every day and just kind of not, we have the privilege to be able to ignore it and be like, oh, that's too much. It's too much to think about. And there are people that because there are parents out there who want to be supportive of their kids and want to get the help, and they literally can't. It's hard.
Yeah, it is.
All right, let's see what else. Big Mike.
I've got 10 more minutes and I got to go back to jury duty.
Jury duty?
Yes. And they gave us a 2-hour lunch, but I have to go back. I still haven't been released.
Oof, I never want to do jury duty. Never. I won't be able to focus.
I always get out of it because I'm a business owner. They're always like, oh, you're on a small business? Oh, you can't be gone that long. Thank you. Bye.
I know, but now they make it to where you have to go up and you have to talk to the judge, and you have to tell them that you can't just walk in or fill out the paper anymore where you can get excused. Like I have to spend the whole day there just so I can be like, I get paid, like I'm a substitute. I only get paid for the days I'm there. Like you can't make me go. Like, so I have to spend my whole day today. I was supposed to work today, but I have to do this instead. So whatever.
I love this. Mark said, God help that man on trial. I love that you assumed it was a man on trial because you know who the problem is. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I need to get out of it.
Yeah. Hello?
I'll be able to go to work.
You're muted.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for you guys to ask me to speak.
Thanks. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay, cool. So let kids be trans.
No. Straight out no.
You said no?
No.
No. Okay, so what do we do for trans kids then?
What do we do for trans kids?
Yeah,
No,
what do we do for them?
Well, there's not a lot you can do for them because no
Are you covering your
child...
microphone? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to interrupt you. You're really muffled. Use your hand over the mic, maybe.
No, it's not.
Go ahead.
So, no child knows what they are or who they are under a certain age. And the fact is that you're saying a 3-year-old can communicate whether they're trans or not is crap.
No, they know what gender, they can have an idea of what gender they are or aren't. We're not saying that they know that that they're transgender or what transgender is.
Did one of you...
And is this your professional opinion? Because you made that statement. You made that statement like it was a fucking fact. So I'm going to guess, like, are you like a neuroscientist? Are you a pediatrician? Are you a pediatric endocrinologist? Are you a psychologist? Like what's... Because you said that with such conviction.
Because it's true.
No kid.
I'm sorry, because you said so?
Well, it's not just me.
Because you said so?
It's not just me that said so.
Oh, okay. Then
Are you going to sit
prove it to
here
me.
and tell me a 3-year-old child has ever said, "Oh, mummy, I want to be a girl," or "I'm a girl"?
Were you a girl when you were 3?
Yes, I've always been a woman or a female.
You are always a woman? That's a choice. Were you a girl when you were 3?
Yes.
How did you know?
Because I have a vagina.
I don't care.
That's not why.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to care.
Is that the only thing
That's
that makes
literally not how you know when you're a kid.
Yeah.
How is it not? I'm a girl. I've always been into girly things. I've always done girly things. There might have been a time that I play with a car.
Well, Paris, according to your logic, then you couldn't have known when you were 3, so I can't believe you. Right? I mean, you said 3-year-olds can't know, so I can't believe you. I think that's bullshit.
How is it bullshit? Because
you can't know when you're 3. There's no way you can, Paris. That's way too young to know. That's what you're saying.
Yep.
No, I'm saying a 3-year-old doesn't know that they're transgender.
Oh, because you're
That's
cisgender?
what I'm saying.
Nobody here said that a 3-year-old knows that they're transgender.
They don't know the word. I didn't say that 3-year-olds go up to their parents and say, "Hey, Mom, I'm transgender." That's not how it works. A kid will tell you what their gender identity is.
You said about a 3-year-old saying, if they're a boy, you said, oh, they want or they are a girl. How does that work?
You said it yourself. You tell me. You actually said that about yourself.
Yes, I know what I said. I'm not.
But how does that work?
You did say in the beginning that no kid could know their gender at 3, so you're
contradicting
yourself.
Yeah,
not really. If you think about it logically, no child. This is what I'm getting at. You're saying let kids be trans, but you've just said a child at 3 doesn't know the word trans. Did you or did you not just
No,
say
you
that?
don't need to have the complex vocabulary to be able to identify what your gender identity is. For a kid, it could be as simple as I'm a boy, I'm a girl, or I'm not a boy, I'm not a girl. That's the extent of their vocabulary.
My brother wants to say something.
How old?
Hello.
How old are you?
I'm 22, 23 soon. So I'm Grant Holt, so I'm the one who's been put in, I'm adopted and all that lot. So I'm gay, and I just basically wanted to say, you know, you're on about trans, like let kids be trans. Right. My personal opinion on that is basically, I think half of their life they will find out, if you know what I mean. I don't think at a young age, like when they're still a kid, they would understand because their body's still growing, if you know what I mean.
So what? Your body?
I don't know what you mean.
Your body doesn't have to correlate with your gender.
And like, I have like female traits in myself, so does that like, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean that I've been growing up.
Yeah, we've never made that claim.
It's not about like things that you like or personality or anything like that. So what if the background said let kids be gay? Would you be okay with that?
At the end of the day, you find out you're gay through like half your life when you actually understand what you want. Like basically,
I knew I was gay when I was 3.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I knew I was gay when I was 3. I didn't half my life to figure it out. Yeah, I knew I knew what the word gay was, but I knew that I was attracted to boys and not girls. Yeah, and it wasn't a sexual thing. I just recognized my
And how did you figure that out at 3 years old?
What's that?
How did you figure that out at 3 years old?
I didn't know what the word was. I just knew what I was attracted to. And again, it wasn't. There's nothing sexual about it at all. Yeah.
3-year-olds should simply be going to nursery, playing with toys.
Nursery.
I love how everyone knows what fucking everyone should be doing.
It's funny because when you have kids who are that age,
about this bullshit, they shouldn't.
Right.
They are innocent little
that's
children.
actually
at
part
the
of
end of the
play,
day.
though, Paris. That's part of play, right? When kids are little like that and they're in nursery school and they're playing and they're going through imaginary play, they will interact things that they'll act out adult things, right? So they might do like a mock wedding, like, oh, I'm getting married to so and so, and they might have an idea in their head already at 3 years old. When I grow up, I'm going to marry a woman, and come here, Sally, let's get married. There's nothing wrong with that.
I have a question for you guys, right? So if basically a woman wants to play, when they're basically a little kid girl, yeah, wants to play with a boy's toy, or if a boy wants to dress up in the dresses, yeah, but they have no intention of basically changing their sexuality, can you answer that?
Yeah, that was me, 100%. I played in, I wore dresses.
Because honestly, I'm going to say that too in personal experience too, because when I was little, I used to be with the girls basically dressing up in their dresses.
Right,
It doesn't mean that I
it-
basically wanted
it
to change
doesn't-
my sexuality.
Right, but it wasn't insistence, persistence, and consistence. I didn't believe that I was a girl, or I didn't identify as a girl at any point in time. I knew that I was a boy. I was just a boy who liked girls' toys and boys' toys. I like girls' clothes and boys' clothes. Had nothing to do with my gender identity.
I know. I'm not going to say that I basically have anything against transgender people, because I don't. All I'm saying is basically I do feel like your title basically for
You're saying we can't possibly know who we are.
No, for you to say that kids be trans, that I think that's a bit whoa. Do you know what I mean?
When can you be trans?
I think, personally, if you want my own personal feelings and opinion on it, I think that they will basically get half through their life of basically going, okay, I don't feel like this is the right
Half
sexuality.
through their life?
That could be like 40, 50 years
I'm
old.
not saying half of their life. I'm basically saying when they get to understand of their self and basically if they feel comfortable in who they are.
So that happens between the ages of 3 and 7 for gender.
But 3 you don't understand.
Yeah, but between the ages of 3 and 7 is when your gender identity is typically fully formed.
And where did you get that from?
This is a common understanding in child development and child psychology. It's a common understanding. You can go look it up.
So you're saying at the age of 3, some kids can basically go, okay, do you know what I mean? Like you're saying that they might think they're trans.
A
and all like
3-year-old can know if they're a boy or a girl or neither.
So it's just like, did I like come out of my mum going, oh, I'm gay? As a baby?
No, nobody said that.
You have to have language.
Okay, again, if you're talking about being gay, I didn't come out until I was in my teens. But did I know when I was 3? Yeah. I mean, when somebody comes out and someone knowing who they are is always the same thing for people. And same for trans people.
Grant, calm down.
Who's not calm?
I'm telling my brother to calm down because I know how he's getting them. Yeah, no.
Okay.
He's getting angry over this.
Yeah, he is getting angry over this.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
Because
how about instead of getting angry, you guys just spend the day studying? How about Paris? Just spend the day studying child development instead of getting angry, so you can have a better understanding. Just do that instead. Okay.
Let me try this.
I gotta
Let me try this.
Go read a book, Paris. Go read a book. Bye.
Hang on. I have a child.
Hi, Sherry.
Bye, Sherry.
I have a 3-year-old little girl.
Right, and you want your 3-year-old little girl to thrive, right? You don't want your 3-year-old to go through trauma?
No parent wants their child to go through
Of course not. So, don't be your kid's first bully. Affirm them if they come to you as transgender. When they tell you that they're a boy or they're a girl, believe them.
No, because if my kid comes to me at the age of 4 or 5 says, Mum, I think I'm a boy, then no, I'm going to wait it out.
Do you know what happens when trans kids don't have affirmation from their parents?
What? You're not letting me finish.
We suffer. No, yeah, and I don't really care what you have to say. We suffer significantly. Our unaliving ideation rate skyrockets when we don't have accepting parents. Skyrockets when we have just one. When we have just one accepting parent, our unaliving ideation rate drops by 70%. Paris, by 70%. Do you want your kid to have unaliving ideation or not?
Well, one, you're putting words into my mouth, so stop doing that, because I never once said that I wouldn't accept my child doing that. But at the ages of 4, 5, 6, 7, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, and you may not get
Most of the time, it's
So you just said, you accused Adora of putting words in your mouth. You accused Adora of putting words in your mouth, and then you put the words in your own mouth. You said, you said, no, hold on, no, you literally just told Adora, you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say I wouldn't accept my kid, but if they're 3 and 4 or 5, no, I wouldn't. So you wouldn't accept them? You accused her of putting the words in your mouth that you put right in your own mouth 3 seconds later.
Right. However, you're not letting me finish, are you?
I saw the contradiction, yes.
Like, if my child came to me when she was like 12, 13, 14, 15, saying that she was trans, then we would look into it. But as a child...
15 years old. 15.
Wow.
No.
You're trying to tell me that a 14-year-old can't know their gender, but a 15-year-old can.
You missed it. I said they could be 12, 13, 14, whatever,
problem with this
then
is,
we would revisit it. I'm not going to encourage it when she's a fucking child. When
Okay,
she's
the
4,
problem
5,
with that.
There we
The
go. Go
problem
check.
with what you're doing or what you're saying you're doing is that you may not get another opportunity. Your child will probably not tell you again when you shut them down when they're little. They came to you at 5 years old, 6 years old, and tried to express to them they're not the gender that you are saying they are, and you're telling them that they could be wrong. It's very likely that they'll never talk to you about that again.
That's not 100% true, though.
I didn't say it was 100% true. I said it was very likely.
No, because I know me and my child will be able to talk about anything and everything. But I'm not going to.
Not if you shut them down when they
Your
try to
parent says that, who ends up with a strange kid.
Exactly. And fucking blow smoke up her ass and fucking feed her bullshit, because that's not
Okay,
the
I'm
way I
good.
am.
Okay, so what
Yeah,
you're
this
saying
is
is you won't support your kid. You won't just. I'll support them when they're 15, but I'm going to make them suffer until then. I'm literally going to make the child suffer until then because I don't care. Because I've just. They can hear me saying that it's bullshit. That their existence is bullshit. They hear what their parents say. So of course your child, if they hear you saying that their existence is bullshit, they're not going to trust you. They're not going to have conversations with you. They're not going to communicate with you. It's just wild. I don't get that.
What don't you get? I'm not
The
going
way that you're talking
to child to do something at 4 or 5 or 6 years old.
Here's the way that you're talking about trans people right now. You're saying that it's bullshit that a 7-year-old could know their gender identity.
Yeah, I am saying it's bullshit.
Then you also said that that child that you have is going to be able to talk to you about anything. So which one is it?
Well, just because I think something's bullshit doesn't mean my child won't talk to me about it.
Of course they won't. Oh my God. If I hear my parents saying
They are bullshit?
if I hear my parents saying that my existence is bullshit, I'm never going to fucking talk to them about it because you've made it very clear that you also invalidate their existence. You've made it very clear that you as a parent, as Adora said, are their first bully.
Yeah, but you also forget when I'm the only person raising my child, I'm going to do my best to look out for her.
That's not doing your best. Your best isn't good enough in that case, honestly.
Well, you can. Do you have fucking kids? I don't think you do. You don't know how hard it is.
You worrying
to
about
have them.
yourself, your own personal reputation, and not your child's mental health and well-being. So that's not a
You
good thing.
don't fucking know me, love. I care
We
more
know
about
what
my
you're saying
child
here.
than
You know how you're
anybody.
representing yourself right now.
It's your words.
Got something in my teeth? No, I'm just kidding.
just a casual snaggle tooth.
Anyway.
Hello, it's me again. It's her brother, by the way. So, basically, I'm basically the uncle of her kid, by the way. Right? So, she knows that I'm gay. Basically, I want to basically connect it with what we're all talking about, do you know what I mean? But, she doesn't, she will always ask me questions of, like, the community of all this, do you know what I mean?
No, she fucking doesn't.
No, but like
She knows that you're gay, and that's
Yeah,
about
but
it. She doesn't really care.
that's what I'm trying to say is she doesn't actually understand. She only knows I'm gay. She doesn't actually understand what it is. If that point's coming across.
It's not that complicated. You being gay means that you're a man who is attracted to other men.
But how's she supposed to know that?
So you just said, I'm gay, and you never told her what that meant?
No. Why would we tell
And then
her?
she
what
doesn't
it
know
is?
that you're gay.
She knows that he has a boyfriend. That's it. She doesn't know how
He
the
does
bird.
know. Does he not? Does she know or does she not know? You guys contradict yourselves all the time.
She knows I'm gay, but she doesn't know what it is because of her age. She
She
can't.
knows that you're with.
Wait, how old is she?
She's
How old is she?
3.
How old is she, please?
3.
She is 3.
Okay, so she knows that you're gay, but doesn't know what gay is, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I said that she knows that my brother is gay and that she knows that he has a partner who is a boy, but she doesn't understand it. She thinks that they are friends.
So she doesn't know he's gay.
Does she think it's a boyfriend or not?
Right, because if you just think that they're friends, then she doesn't understand that he's gay.
Right.
They're different things, right? Children at the age of 3 can understand relationships at a very basic level. As Sherry was talking to you about, children have, like, they play house. They know that they can be like a mommy and a daddy, or there can be 2 mommies, or that they can have children. Like, they can understand these things at a very basic level.
Yeah. I have 11.
That he has a boyfriend. What were you saying, Bish?
I have 11 nieces and nephews, and I would say about 8 of them grew up and were born and grew up since my husband and I have been together. So they knew from a very young age that they had another uncle, and they knew that was my boyfriend. He wasn't my husband yet. And they recognized our relationship the same way they recognized the relationship of my brother and his wife and my sister and her husband.
Exactly.
Did they have the word gay for it? Probably not. But did they recognize that my relationship was just the same as the others in the family? Sure, absolutely.
All you're doing, Paris, is just setting yourself up to reject your child.
I'm really not, and if that's what you think, you are delusional.
No, you quite literally are, and we have the data backs this too. Like, what you're doing will estrange your child if they are queer.
It's unlikely.
I couldn't care if she's older and she's queer. Fine.
Okay. What age? I want a specific age.
Well, she comes to me at, like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, that sort of age.
Okay, so why not 9?
Because they're still little 9-year-olds.
Okay, so what happens at the age of 10 that makes them suddenly able to know their gender?
I never said know their gender.
You do know that 9-year-olds can go through puberty, right?
Yes, everyone knows that.
Well,
You'd be surprised how many don't.
Yeah, that doesn't make them like adults, right? But it does make it so they can.
Once say it did.
They can understand a lot about themselves at that age.
Free Palestine. Yes, sorry. I saw that in the comments.
Okay, are you listening to the conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, what if your daughter, right, was, I don't know, 6 and said that she liked boys? Would you be okay with that?
She doesn't know what she bloody likes. She's a child.
You answer the question.
At 6, she absolutely could know. Maybe just like what Sherry said, just fucking educate yourself on what children can understand and stop just rejecting this. Because if your child is 8 years old and says these things to you, you're prepared to just shut them down. And that's it.
So, I said that I'd tell him that this isn't the right age for us to be having this conversation. There's a difference.
Which is shutting them down. That says
shutting them down when I believe it's not the appropriate age to be having this sort of conversation with them. It's not shutting them down.
That's exactly the definition of shutting them down. You're saying you're too young to understand. It absolutely is.
Any topic that my children try to talk to me about, I never tell them that they're too young for that conversation. However, you can tailor the conversations to their age and what they can comprehend, like we talked about earlier with a 3-year-old understanding what being gay is. You could just say, Uncle whatever has a boyfriend.
But is this information
boys can
that
like
they
boys,
really
and that's
need to
it.
know?
What?
Is this information that they really need to know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the child was asking for it.
How is it information that they need to know? Why can't
them to understand that?
Why can't kids just be happy
That
and
doesn't
do all
make
the
them
things
not
kids
kids.
can
It doesn't make them
do?
not happy. It doesn't make them not play with toys.
Let's not pretend that you care about kids being happy.
Will be confusing for kids, and this is what you guys aren't realising.
Paris, can we stop
Kids might be
pretending?
trans, but not all fucking kids.
Paris, can we stop pretending that you care about kids being happy?
Because you
Yeah,
don't.
but do care about kids being happy.
You know, no, if you care about kids being happy, you would answer the question, support them, and love them for being exactly who they are.
Exactly. When my
Did I
youngest
once
child was
say,
9
did I
years
once
old,
say I wouldn't accept them for who
when
they
my
are?
youngest child was 9 years old, they gave me a letter. They wrote a little letter and made some little bisexual flags and gave me this envelope and was like, I am bisexual. Or I don't remember what they wrote in there, something like that. They were 9. I was like, okay, cool. That was it. I'm like, thank you for telling me. This is great artwork, or whatever. I don't know what I said. I said something like that. And then the next day I just asked them, I'm just like, hey, so what exactly does that like mean to you? And they were like, oh, I like all genders. And I'm like, oh, cool. And that was it. That was it. Now they're 11 and they still talk to me about things like that.
How can you know that at 9 though, that you like all genders? This is what doesn't make sense.
How can you not recognize that you like all genders? That's something that a child can understand.
When was your first crush?
It's not something that
When
we
was your
had
first
growing up.
crush?
I didn't have a crush on anyone until I was at least 14.
Okay, so that's you. But were there other people in your grade that had crushes? Did it or anything like that?
Not really.
What?
Then you weren't very paying much attention to anything going on around you.
Seriously?
No, 'cause I wasn't interested. We were just enjoying hanging out with one another. We didn't do all this crush
Children
bollocks
is young,
until
like
we were
4th,
at
5th
school.
grade, can have like boyfriends, can have little boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever. Like, come on. Like, which is 4th, 5th grade, 9, 10 years old, 10 to 11.
Yes,
9
I
to
know
11.
they're little kids, Grant. I know that. You know that. I know that.
So why are you planning on shutting kids down if they want to share this information with their mother?
Just because I said that it wouldn't be the right time to talk about it does not automatically mean I'm shutting them down.
That's exactly what you're doing.
This is quite literally exactly the definition of what you're doing. You are
wait, Mel.
doing that.
Mel,
Yeah.
didn't you tell me what you had for lunch today? What did you have for lunch?
A salad.
Hey, I don't want to know that, but I'm not shutting it down.
Hey, don't tell me about that. Tell me about what you had for lunch when you get older.
Stop forcing your salad down my throat.
That sounded so wrong.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah, if your child wants to talk to you about something, and you saying you don't want to talk about it, that is shutting them down.
No, I said that it wouldn't be the appropriate time to talk about it.
When is the appropriate time?
When they can understand a bit more with what they're talking about.
When is that? What's the time, date, and year?
Time, date, and year.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not a fucking time traveler.
we know.
The point is that if your child is talking to you about these things, they probably have a pretty basic understanding on what they're talking about. You're just assuming that they don't know. It's really weird.
How is it weird?
That you wouldn't just listen to your kid and have a conversation with them.
Did I once say that I wouldn't listen to my child?
Actually, more than once. You said like about 20 times.
You keep repeating it, as a matter of fact.
There's a difference between saying that this isn't the right time to talk about it. Doesn't necessarily mean
It's not like you're
before
saying
that.
this isn't the right time, as in like I'm in the bathroom right now. I'll talk to you about this in 5 minutes. You're talking about years.
Okay? Is there something wrong with that?
Yes.
How is there something wrong with that when I think
Told
I'm
you
doing
how
what's
there's
best for
something
my
wrong with that. You're
child?
shutting your child down.
So
what'll
you can shut
probably
my child down all you like, but I know I'm
what'll
not.
happen with that kid is they'll probably just go talk to someone else about it. Well, my mom doesn't want to listen to me when I tell them that I like girls and boys or whatever, so I'll go talk to someone else.
Well, no, that's really not going to be the case, though.
Wow.
Yeah, I love how you just know exactly.
Oh my god.
Is wild. Well, not my kid.
Mel, are you good?
Am I good? Oh, sure.
I think it's because I know my
Hey,
kid
Paris,
a
you know
lot
what?
better
Paris, I'm
than
sorry.
you lot
Paris,
know her.
this isn't the time. You're not old enough for this conversation, Paris, so this isn't the time today. I'm not shutting you down. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely not shutting you down. It's just not the time for the conversation. You're not ready yet. Okay? But I'm not shutting you down. I'm sorry, we have 18 people here. Someone has to be more interesting than that one.
See how that goes, though? That is absolutely shutting your child down.
But I'm not. And I never said it, even though I just said it.
Now my kids like to say, ew, like, how do you like men? Ew. Like, that's usually what I get.
I mean, honestly, we don't know. Let's not lie. Oh, thank you for the roses. That's sweet.
Well, like I said, my youngest is attracted to like all genders. But my daughter is only attracted to girls. So they like to have that like in common. So they just kind of talk about different girls that they find attractive or whatever. And then they like to be mean to me because I'm the one that likes.
It's kind of gross, honestly.
Like, ooh, Mom, that's gross. I know. And I'm like, you're talking about your father, right? Like, don't you think that's mean?
That's kind of why they're saying it.
Probably. Anyway, John?
Yeah, I got a few things I want to talk about if y'all don't mind.
Yep. John, just for TikTok, I'm sure we're fine, but how old are you, please, just for TikTok?
I'm 35.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Cool, go ahead.
I got a 4-year-old daughter.
Yep.
It's kind of weird to me that y'all are on here trying to promote this.
We're not
all
promoting
these kids
it.
on. Yes, you are. You're promoting.
No, we're not. You are wrong.
You know that there's kids out there. Obviously they're going to lie about their age and be on TikTok and stuff like that. And they're out there watching this.
That doesn't make this promotion.
No, not at all.
Then what are y'all on here trying to do then? Explain to me what you're trying to do.
Educate people like you.
Educate. Okay.
Get parents to prepare themselves that their children can be part of the LGBTQ community and how to support them.
So how do they know about being trans and stuff like that? How do they get that?
They don't have to.
How do they know that they?
They just recognize it on their own.
They had to get it from somewhere, though.
Nope.
Where did I get it from?
That's it.
I don't know where you got it from.
Sure as hell nobody told me anything.
Well,
it's literally just in your brain. It's part of childhood development.
Adora, were your parents trans?
Turns out no.
Were your parents liberals?
Whose?
I would say Democrats.
They were Democrats? Would they talk about trans people in the house a lot of the time?
I don't think the word was ever mentioned once.
Did you ever see like movies with trans people in the house with the family?
Nope. I saw Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Oh, that was bad representation.
That was, yeah. Did they take you to? I don't know. Is there a trans event that they took you to that we should know about?
Not that that I recall.
You're trans, and that's wild. How'd that happen?
Yeah, it's weird.
So y'all three are just on here teaming up.
No,
John, basically, you're all right on everything. Nobody else is right on nothing. Y'all are on here promoting that dumb shit. Y'all are on here promoting it.
It's not.
I would never claim to be right about everything, John.
Yeah, well,
never.
John,
every time somebody puts in their 2 cents, just like I'm doing right now, y'all are saying, "No, that ain't how it is. That ain't how it works."
What we're addressing, John, is if we want to say we're promoting anything, I would say we're promoting accepting your child for who they are. Just love your kid. If they're trans, if they're cis, if they're straight, if they're gay, love them and support them for being exactly who they are.
Exactly.
Listen to your kid and support them. That's what we're promoting. Promoting supporting your child is what we're promoting specifically.
So it's honestly it's weird that y'all are wanting kids to do this.
No, not wanting them.
Kids to do this is that we recognize that children can be part of the community. Yet you cannot make someone not trans. You can't make someone not gay. You can't make someone not a lesbian. So support those kids.
So kids are gullible. Kids like to see. Kids like to pretend. Am I right? Kids pretend, right?
When kids pretend, they usually recognize that they're pretending, though.
They recognize the difference between pretending and reality.
I think we're going to get to the consistence, persistence, insistence on this. John, have you heard that phrase before?
Wait, what is it?
I might get the order wrong. Mel or Adora. I shut my mouth.
You're good.
You're good. Yeah.
But wait, is there a specific order there for them?
Nope, it doesn't matter.
Consistence, insistence, and persistence. So whenever a kid says that, hey, I'm Spider-Man, which seems to be the common topic in here lately, obviously, one, Spider-Man is not a gender identity. But two, oh, goodness.
Sorry.
Is that a car door?
Yeah.
Are you driving right now, John?
No, I am not. I'm parked at work.
I appreciate it. Cool. You gotta be safe on here. Okay, so if a kid says they're Spider-Man, there's a big difference in saying I'm Spider-Man, which is not a gender identity. They're playing make-believe, you know, and something of someone consistently, persistently, and instantly recognizing something about themselves, you know. And one of the first steps would be potentially, you know, for a trans kid is just recognizing, allowing them to explore different haircut, clothing, or pronouns or name. But one of the first steps is therapy. And in therapy, they would see, is there insistence, consistency, persistence? Because if they're not, the kid's probably not trans. So no one's trying to encourage someone to be something. They're just recognizing this could be the case. And if that happens, what should you do to support your child?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, they got, I don't know how to explain this.
Okay.
They get the idea from somewhere, so they have to see it somewhere. They have to.
No, they don't. That's just a misconception, John. They don't. The child literally saw it nowhere, and she's still trans. So.
I saw it nowhere either.
Well.
Wait, so you can educate yourself, John, on how gender identity develops in the brain, and how all children develop an identity. In some kids, gender's identity just develop incongruent from their sex. It's a natural and normal thing. It's not something you can prevent. So you can choose to not support your kid, cause them trauma, possibly lose your child to, unfortunately, self-unaliving, or lose them when they get old enough to not stay in contact with their family. That's what you can choose as a parent. You can choose to support your kid or to reject them.
I'll support my kids to the fullest. Love my daughter more than anything in this world. I love her more than anything.
What if your daughter told you at 13 that she's actually your son?
I would tell her she's dumb.
So that's not supporting your kid at all whatsoever, John.
Yeah. And it's also,
that child is the same exact child the day before they told you and the day that they tell you. They're the same kid. So if you love that kid, you should love that kid if that kid is actually a boy.
Well,
John, is it love if you tell your kid they're dumb whenever they share something with you? Is that love?
Seriously.
And here's the thing. I don't doubt that you love your child. I believe you. I heard your heart when you said that. But I'm asking you compassionately to think about that. If your child says something to you like that and you respond to them that saying that you're dumb, is that really showing them love?
My daughter knows I love her. My daughter knows I love her.
Okay, you don't have to answer that right now, but I want you to think about that. If you had something that you really needed to share with your parent whenever you were younger, and you finally got the courage to tell your parent that, and their response was you're dumb, that's hurtful. And I don't think you're necessarily trying to be a bad person. I really don't. I heard the love in your heart whenever you spoke about your daughter. I just want you to think about that, because that could really, really harm them, you know?
Well, unfortunately, I guess fortunately, I grew up with no parents. So, I mean, it's kind of on me, but.
Okay. Why are you so tied into your child's gender more than just supporting your child from no matter who they are?
What am I supporting?
Like,
what?
You can still love your child right now as you knowing her as your daughter. Why can't you love her just as much as she's your son?
Because she was born my daughter.
She was born the person that she is.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't born your daughter. You're assuming she's your daughter. She probably is. Most likely that she will remain what you assume to be your daughter. But if she told you that she is actually your son, That's her sharing something very personal to her with you, and you said your reaction would be, "You're dumb."
I tell her she's dumb all the time. I'm just messing around with her most of the time.
You don't think that's maybe a bad thing?
That is a bad thing, but especially with something so big.
So how are y'all going to tell me how to pretty much adult my kid, basically, or father my kid, whenever y'all don't even have kids? How are y'all going to tell me how to do that?
First of all, Mel does. But
Your kid knows more about their identity than you do.
yeah, Mel does have kids, and I also don't think I stand firmly on this position, John. You don't have to have kids to know that it's not okay to tell your kid constantly that they're dumb. You need to be a good human, not a parent.
I'm a good human.
I believed that moments ago, but now whenever you say you constantly tell your child they're dumb, I don't see that. That's not representative of what a good person does, and that's hard. That's hurtful. And I mean, you know what I mean? If you want to make the choice to say that, to tell your child they're dumb, that's going to have an impact on your child, whether they're straight, gay, trans, bi, pan. You're belittling your child, and you are supposed to be their cheerleader. You're supposed to be their number one supporter, and a number one supporter and cheerleader doesn't say you're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb multiple times. That is a sign of someone who's more of a bully to the person and not someone who really cares about them. So I may have been wrong with my previous assessment.
Wow.
And it sounds like you love your child for.
I'm just not soft on my kid.
Oh my God! So you just want
so
to
do
bully
that.
them.
Be a little softer. Softness is not weakness.
Yeah.
Where's this idea coming from that softness is weakness?
I have no idea.
Damn. This conversation was literally about you accepting your child for who they are. And it got to the point where you're just saying that you just want to bully your kid, which is fucking weird, John.
I don't bully my kid.
I gotta go get my kid from school. No, thank you for coming up. God damn it. Because I just realized I have to change my shirt. I can't go pick them up in this, right?
No, you. Oh my God! Where did you get that? Is that Target's Pride collection this year?
No, so it's from.
Sorry, I had you for that.
Have you ever seen? Well, there was a show a couple years ago. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay, I heard you earlier. I know of the show. I just never watched.
Yeah, so there was somebody, and actually the character's gay, which is kind of funny. That went on vacation and they didn't. I forgot they didn't bring their clothes. They forgot their clothes, or they just went on vacation suddenly. I don't remember what it was. But he bought a bunch of T-shirts just at T-shirt shops on this vacation. So randomly in each clip he's wearing a different shirt, and this is one of them. So I got it from NBC.com. I gave it to my husband a couple years ago for his birthday, and I wore it to bed, and I never changed my clothes this morning. So
wow, that's funny.
But yeah, I can't. You probably can't go wear this to the school. I do have a line, guys. I have a line.
Just to point out, I won't give the name, will I? Of the person who was saying hateful comments and really horrible stuff to Mel in the comments about what a parent she is. Your profile picture is you and your child, and both of you giving the finger to the camera. So maybe, I don't know. No, I don't have kids, as people like to point out. I don't have kids. But maybe you, raising your child to take selfies, giving the finger to the camera, are not one to judge someone else's parenting skills who's talking about supporting their kids. Just a thought, you know what I mean? Do what you want, born roofer. Oh my shit, I said it. What? Oh no, bitch. All right. Sorry.
God. Anyway, see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. For my unplanned live that lasted all day.
What time is it? It's 4:30.
Yeah, I gotta go change my shirt and get my kid from school. All right. Bye, friends.
Bye.